Yes! Go on, do so! Go on, do so! What are you doing here, man?
What are you doing here?
You get me? What the fuck? Oh, shit.
People that come at us and say F1 is boring, they don't watch it, clearly.
So we're at the best stadium in the whole of the Premier League.
What are you laughing at?
Smoking on your tears, fam. You know that way there.
Hi guys, and welcome to another amazing watch along right here on the Don Robbie channel. I feel like I spend my life with Doyle at the moment.
Yeah.
Ahead of AC Milan taking on Liverpool in the Champions League. Hi Doyle.
Hiya.
Hiya, talk to me about this kit real quick.
No disrespect. And I planned this out, I did. I planned this, and I'm not going to lie guys, I did. I planned this joke. Everything that I'm about to say is all planned. It's a training kit.
It's a training kit.
And do you know why I'm wearing a training kit, Abby?
Tell me why.
Because Liverpool have dominated their Champions League group.
The group
and
of
we're
death,
already
right?
through. Yeah, the group of death. It was so dubbed, it was, yeah. But we're through because we won every single game. So today, we've got the training kit on because we're at one of the best training grounds ever for today.
Wow.
San Siro, innit? What a ground.
Wow, okay, not sure
No
how you
disrespect to them
guys
guys, it's just I love Liverpool at the moment.
and hi guys, welcome, Chris
Thanks.
and Alex. I was just going to shorten down your Italian names, just call you Chris and Alex tonight to make my life much easier. You excited for tonight's game?
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of injury problems, so, and we know how good Liverpool are, so nervous. I'm just hoping that because they're already through and it's all on the line for us, they take it easy a bit.
I mean, as Doyle said, for them it's for training, so let's hope they tone it down like it is a training session.
And tone it right down. All right, I'm going to go through the lineups because we'll be able to see how much Liverpool are treating this as a training session.
Yeah, you'll see.
For AC Milan, please excuse my pronunciation for some of these. Who's your goalkeeper?
I don't know how to pronounce it either.
Okay,
so.
right, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go Manyan, okay. Kalulu, Tamori, Romagnoli. Thank you. Hernandez, Tonali, Kessie, Messias, Diaz, Krunic, and Ibrahimovic. How are my pronunciations? Okay.
Yeah, good.
Room for improvement. Yeah. Okay. And for Liverpool, they've gone Alisson, Nat Williams, Kanate, Phillips, Tsimikas,
Phillips is
Oxlade-Chamberlain, Morton, Minamino, Salah, Origi and Mane. We should probably start with that Liverpool team because they've really gone for it in terms of putting the youth in. Have a look at their bench. The people that people will know on there, probably Fabinho, Keita, Gomez, Robertson, Matip, Alexander-Arnold. Yeah. And then you've got an array of kids. Dixon, Bonner, Keller, obviously the goalkeeper, Norris, Waltman, Bradley and Davis. Yeah. I know you've obviously qualified. Do you think this is a great time for kids to kind of prove themselves? I mean, what an amazing opportunity they've got.
It's a stage, isn't it? They're professional footballers. They all want to be on this big stage right now in front of these fans wanting to play football. That's what you dream of as a kid, isn't it? That Morton started against Atletico, was it? Or Porto? Yeah, and he had a great game, so why not stick him in again?
Yeah.
Next time he plays for real, it'll be, I've got some experience, I'm not scared, I can do this type of thing. Yeah. Same for the kids at the back as well. We've got Matt Phillips, gets his head on anything.
I think it's amazing to be giving kids like, not so much Nat Phillips, obviously he's got Premier League experience now, so he played quite a lot last season. But for someone like that Morton to be given, a Champions League game, that's incredible.
Well, this is how Trent developed, wasn't it? We give him a game in the Champions League, we give him games in the Premier League, and eventually he just showed his talent, and that's what Klopp and Liverpool are all about. Like, we've got this stage at the moment where we're a really good team, we're fantastic, we're in the Champions League, we're doing well in the Premier League. Why not give them the opportunities right now? Yeah. As a young lad, I would definitely want this myself, and I can guarantee every single lad on that bench will be dying to get on. The San Siro as well. Yeah, that's like one of the most famous grounds in football. I'm sure you lads want to play there. We want to play. We all want to play football.
Yeah,
on that ground.
I mean, you've just called the San Siro one of the most iconic grounds, a training facility.
I did. I'm sorry, lads. Lads.
Anyway, Alex and Chris. Chris, that team you mentioned before we started. That you've got a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
What do you make of that team? And who's missing actually for you?
So we're missing Kier, our centre back. Unfortunately, he done his ACL at the weekend, so that's his season over, which is a shame because he was in the Ballon d'Or ceremony the other week, so he's on a high, and now not so much. Calabria, our right back, he's still injured, so Kalulu's really young. He's been quite solid when he's come in, but that's like half of our strongest defence.
Okay.
Benacer on the bench is obviously quite. Him and Kessie have been a bit hit and miss this season. Tonali's really been the standout, but we're missing Rebic on the left as well, and it's just a bit of a hit and miss squad. So it's going to be a tough test for them, especially because we've got no Giroud on the bench. Our only striker is Maldini's son, Daniel, and he's
could be like
very young.
Maldini.
Well,
You
he's
never
got the
know.
name.
Only takes one chance, I guess.
Isn't it third generation Maldini?
Yeah.
Third generation.
That's
Oh my
amazing.
Days.
Third generation
Yeah, it's
footballer.
incredible, like, to have
Incredible.
that talent in a family, imagine
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, imagine one when it just doesn't come out.
You just give birth and go, you're going to be a footballer, you.
Well, do you know Sergio Aguero's son? Is
Yeah.
it Sergio Aguero's son?
His godfather
His
is...
godfather was
Maradona.
Yeah,
and someone else, like, is it?
Messi's involved somehow.
Messi's related
involved
to
in
them
it,
Messi's
somewhere or
like,
another,
something to do with that.
Insane.
And I mean, surely that kid has got like
Yeah.
the world on his shoulders already at like 12. I mean, he just has to be.
It'd be a disaster if he's not a footballer.
Yeah, it will be a disaster. You mentioned about Giroud. How's Giroud been for you since joining?
First couple games, he really hit it off. I think he had 4 goals in about 6 games, and then ever since then, I don't know if it's the service up to him from our wingers, but he's dropped off a little bit. So it's a good signing, obviously, because he's with experience and stuff, but he's not doing as well as I'd hope he would have. He should be doing, really, with how we played at Chelsea and of course Arsenal.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He's a little bit older now, though, as well.
yeah, I think it's 34.
Yeah,
34, is he? Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I have to say,
34.
your strike
And
force is
that's the issue.
pretty old. I mean, obviously, take nothing away from Ibrahimovic, a fantastic player, but how old is Ibrahimovic now?
40 now.
40.
He's 40.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he
Zlatan's 40.
He's 40. Is he showing signs of his age for you guys?
Injury-wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Performance-wise, no. Every game he plays, he scores basically.
Yeah.
It's just he gets injured a little bit more frequently. He can't play as long or as often as he'd like to. So it's just about how they manage him, really. As long as you get a solid hour out of him, he'll be fine. But he hasn't scored in the Champions League yet this season. If he scores tonight, it will be his 50th
he's
Champions
starting.
League goal.
He's starting, yeah?
Really?
I think we've got no one else to play up front. He's the only one we have left,
I mean,
so,
look, it's
which is
not-
a problem
it's
as
not
well.
a bad option, though.
This brings it back again to us playing the kids, yeah. They're playing against Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of the best footballers that's ever lived.
Absolutely.
You definitely want to play this game.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
I
Nat
mean,
Phillips is going to be reveling, jumping up for the header with Zlatan.
but they have so much
That's
to
it.
prove in this game. I know there's nothing in it for you guys, but
Yeah,
still,
but-
I mean, for the
yeah,
kids
for the
that
kids.
are there,
Yeah.
it's still a really important game.
It's motivation for them.
How
They
often
show
do
that
they
they
get
play
a
well.
chance?
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. How often do they get a chance? So you guys have qualified now. What's going on with AC Milan in this group?
Oh.
Wow.
What would you like to explain?
It's a tricky one. So it's out of our hands. So even if we win tonight, depending on other results, it might not be enough. We have to hope Porto definitely don't win. Atletico Madrid, if they match our result,
So basically,
we'll go through.
they have to. We go through if we better their result,
right.
their win, or match it. If let's say we beat Liverpool 1-0 and then Atletico win 2-0, we can't go through.
What a way to
So
go
it's-
out of the Champions League. Imagine that.
We're hoping for a draw in that game.
Okay, all right, we're going to run through those fixtures quickly before they kick off. So Ajax take on Sporting Lisbon, Porto against Atletico Madrid, the one that we'll have a very close eye on. Real Madrid versus Inter Milan in that group. Did you guys say they both qualified already?
I think, but it's a good game because whoever wins tops the group.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
have
and
a
you always
look
want
at
to tell,
that. Of course, AC Milan, Liverpool, Shakhtar Donetsk versus Sheriff, and Dortmund versus Besiktas. And in the earlier games tonight, PSG beat Club Brugge 4-1, was it? And RB Leipzig beat Manchester City 2-1 as well. So a shock result there, but City were already through.
There's been a few shocking teams this season, right, in the Champions League that have just not performed. No disrespect to these guys, but I was really excited to see you guys back in the Champions League, and it just hasn't come off. Even Atletico in our group been terrible.
They've been poor.
And do you know a big one for me then? Dortmund. Dortmund have been shocking. Like, they got battered by Sporting, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's a shame to see somebody like Erling Haaland not be able to play in quarter-finals, semi-finals, when he's that good of a footballer. It's a shame.
Yeah,
It's a
but
real
Erling
shame.
Haaland is going to obviously be moving in the summer.
Yeah.
Where to?
Well, this is a good debate that we're going to have as soon as we kick off. Guys, remember, we will keep it all updated with the scores. You can see them on the bottom of your screen. So anything that changes and goes in and anything that happens in the game, we will have you covered for that as well. I'm quite excited for this game, I have to say. I don't know too much about Italian football, the ins and outs of it, to be honest with you. So I'm quite excited to find out.
Where are you guys in your league?
We're first now.
Top.
First, yeah.
So we had a few results go our way at the weekend. Napoli lost, so we're top of the table now.
Yeah.
But Inter are catching up, only a point behind us.
Yeah. So you said it in the league, it's been...
In the league, we've been really good. We've only
Well, a few weeks ago where we lost two in a row.
But other than that, we've been solid. But it's just not quite gone across the Champions League yet.
Yep. It's not been too solid. So let's say you guys qualify. What's your expectations for AC Milan?
I mean, obviously, we've been Milan fans all our lives, so we remember the great Milans with the Maldinis and the Kakas and stuff. So, like me as a fan, I always expect Milan to play to win every competition they're in, even though, the likelihood is we're not going to win the Champions League.
Yeah.
The players have to have the belief that they can do it, because otherwise they're not fit to wear the shirt. So that should be their aim. But realistically speaking, last 16, first season back, a lot of fans would see that as a positive. But it would be a good experience for a lot of the players. This is a really young Milan. There's not many champions in there.
Yeah, I mean, you've come through like a whole transition, haven't you?
Yeah.
When you think of like the iconic Milan teams, as you mentioned. So what's the next 5 years got in store for you? Because that's where you really want to be looking. Maybe not, today or tomorrow, but for the future. Are you happy with what's going on with AC Milan? When you think of obviously the expectation of all clubs go through cycles. We've seen it with many Premier League clubs as well. Clubs across the world, Barcelona, Real Madrid are kind of going through a transition at the moment as well. But for a team like AC Milan, where he used to dominate, European football.
I think for now, most all us fans, we just want a consistency. We want to be able to get, it's the first time in Champions League for 7 years, we want to be able to get in every single season for the next few years, whether we go out in the group stage or not. We want to be consistent. We want to be there. We want to be fighting for the title in Serie A. We want to be the team that we used to be.
Yeah.
And that consistency is the key there.
Yeah, this team this season has got to win a trophy. Last year we finished second in the league. We're back in the Champions League, but for Milan, there's got to be a trophy of sorts.
But I mean, look, if you think about it like that, you finished second in the league last year, obviously behind Inter, right?
Yeah.
Behind Inter, so that's got to hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you look at your progress, you said you spent 7 years out of it. Last season was a big step in the right direction,
definitely.
right?
Yeah. It was nice to see them up and above in the top of the league.
I mean, the season before, we finished fifth, and it went right down to the last game.
Okay.
And we were in second and third for a lot of that season.
I remember this actually.
Yeah.
My mates, got a few mates, Italian mates from Milan actually.
Yeah.
And I remember this game. Who was against?
It
was last game of the season, weren't it? Because Liverpool had to do the same.
Sassuolo and Atalanta were playing each other, and I think Sassuolo were beating them 2-0.
Yeah,
and then Atalanta beat them 3-2 or something like that in the end, and then obviously for us, and then Inter beat Empoli 2-1.
Yeah, so it was another one where, like it is tonight, results out of your hands.
Yeah.
There was a step forward in progress last season, definitely getting back in the Champions League. But again, we left that till the last day.
Yeah.
We were lucky that a few results went our way. So I think this season top four should probably be
Are you
in the
looking
bag
good
already.
in the league at the moment?
First.
Yeah, like injuries aside, we're top of the league. Yeah, we lost 2 games in a row, but it could have been worse like a few seasons ago. One injury for a Milan squad was almost like
Catastrophic.
season over.
Well, if there's anything that you need, lads, tonight, yeah, we're playing in the yellow kit. And when we play in this bloody kit, yeah, we're crap usually. We're really, really terrible in this. Oh, it's the most ugly kit I've ever seen in my life.
Not as ugly as that training kit you've got on.
Hey, what? don't you like this?
No, it reminds me of like kids.
I picked this out.
It reminds me
right?
of the Portugal
My
shirt.
friend got me this, okay?
The away one.
If you like it, I'm happy.
Hey,
Just
lads,
my
is this
Obviously,
a bad shirt? Like, I know it's Liverpool and that, but is it a bad shirt?
It's not bad. It looks like the Portugal
Well,
one. So
I wouldn't
if that
wear
was
it. Yeah, it
mint,
does.
if that was mint green, it would be the Portugal
It
away
does,
kit,
it
and everyone
does.
loves that
See?
kit. So
There you go. Classy
Okay,
this.
just not my personal
Nah,
taste.
not a bit of me.
I'm
Oh,
not.
well.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just. Yeah. I'm
I
not
love
loving
this shirt. Well.
I'm happy that you
It's
like
better than
it.
that one, though, isn't it?
That's just like a McDonald's shirt.
Yeah, it does.
It's not.
You look like they're about to ask you, do you want a double cheeseburger, mate?
Cheeseburger and fries. You've got a super chat here from Gio. I can't date these Spanish names, these Italian names. Gio said, big up the Milan guys. We will win tonight and advance to the next round. Forza Milan sempre. Sempre?
yeah.
Always.
always Foster Milan.
Always?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. You've got some Milan fans in the comments. You guys put your predictions in for what you think, how you think this game is going to end. Question for Milan guys from Akash, who said, which Premier League teams do you guys support?
So my Premier League team is Leeds.
Do you want to explain why?
So my father is a Leeds fan. So I followed in his footsteps and support the mighty Leeds.
Mighty Leeds.
I'll talk about your relegation hopes in a moment. Alex, who do you support?
I don't really have one. I've always just been Milan since I was a little kid. I do have a little soft spot for Arsenal because of my godfather's wife. She made me go into Arsenal, as my godfather was the one that made me become a Milan fan, and she was like, well, if he's making you a Milan fan, you've got to become an Arsenal fan for me.
Okay.
So Thierry Henry and Fabregas were I loved them when they were at Arsenal, so that's why I have a little soft spot for Arsenal.
And now, who's your favourite player in the Arsenal squad?
It's going to have to be Aubameyang because I've met him before.
Wow.
Just because I've met him.
So
That's the only reason.
That's a rogue shout at the moment. He's
It is,
getting
yeah.
pelters.
Yeah, I know.
It's a bit like the Ozil situation.
Yeah,
Getting
it
him
is.
a contract and he's just...
Will
Dropped his head.
Arsenal ever learn, right, to stop offering people ridiculous contracts at an old age?
I think that's what Liverpool are scared of with Mo Salah, if I'm honest. Him dropping his standards and his performances down when you give him that contract.
With
I don't know. I don't
With
think
Salah,
so.
I just give him whatever he wants.
He wants to win, mate. Not only
Yeah.
right, it's not even just about the club. His individualness. He wants to win. He wants to win best player in the world. He wants to score more goals than anybody. Wherever you put him, he's going to want to be that champion. So
Yeah.
he's not going to drop off anytime soon.
No,
No.
I wouldn't think that Salah's the type of player that
No.
has that in him, especially
Also-
and also at the club as well. He absolutely loves Liverpool.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he
a
loves
god.
us. We love him.
Yeah.
Also,
Revered.
he doesn't drink. He's a professional athlete, like a real professional athlete. He's gonna last for a very
Yeah.
long time, providing that he can keep a bit of his pace. Because a lot of his play is based around his pace. We've got to be realistic.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be
I
like
I
a
mean, he's not
slap
showing any
Yeah.
signs of losing.
No, he's
his
not.
pace
But I can't
anytime
remember
soon.
him being injured other than
Yeah, he's very
The
realistic.
shoulder.
the incident in the final.
Yeah.
But that was shoulder, so
Yeah.
I can't remember him having any muscle problems
He's
or
tough,
anything.
you know.
so-
Same with Sadio Mane. We've got, and Bobby's the one that drops off a little every now and then. That's why
Yeah.
we've got Jota in. But they are tough lads. That's what makes them one of the best in the world as well. In my opinion, if you don't get injured, this is what made Suarez
Yeah.
better in the Premier League whilst he was here than Aguero, in my
Yeah.
opinion. That
Really?
he didn't get injured. He just didn't get his injuries as much as Aguero
It
did.
is difficult when you get the injuries and you're so start-stop all the time. You have them like recurring niggles,
Yeah.
which unfortunately we see so many careers.
Daniel
which just-
Sturridge, he
yeah,
played half the
blighted
games.
by
He was
them.
there for
Yeah.
like 6 years, 7 years or something, and played half the games. And he was genuinely, outlandish shout this, but he was one of the best strikers in England at one point. Like he genuinely was. I thought he was better than Harry Kane in like that 2014-13 season.
Yeah.
when he first came on the scene, he was better than Kane.
He was insane,
Yeah,
lads.
he was
Some of the goals
amazing.
he was scoring, like I remember one against West Brom, took it out to the left and dinked it over the keeper. Like it was nothing. It was beautiful.
Where did he go after you?
He went.
Was it
was like
Turkey? Somewhere in
Trabzonspor,
Turkey, yeah.
Trabzonspor, and then he
Yeah.
went to. Do you know where he plays now? In Perth. In
Yeah, he plays in
Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
And like he's pulling, he went to go and get an away game the other day, and he was like, I can't get on a plane. It makes me feel sick.
Oh yeah, I read
Yeah.
that the other
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Perfect. Like I
He
just
had to
feel
get a
like
plane to go the whole way to Perth, right?
Yeah.
So-
it's one of them where I just feel like injuries can really make the difference between being the best and just being a good player. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had that with we had this Brazilian years ago called
Pato.
Pato.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alexander
Pato.
Pato, lads.
Oh my god, that guy was like.
He was on the scene from about 17.
He was bossing,
I've
lads.
said for years, if he never got injured, he'd be like up there with Neymar and those sort of players in that generation. But yeah, that was really sad what happened to him.
What happened? What was his story? I do remember him. That
Just a lot of muscular injuries. Anyway, I think he was overused as a youngster.
Yeah.
But he also liked to party a lot with Ronaldinho and all the other Brazilians. So
Brazilian players do like to party.
Oh,
He had a little scandal with he was going out with our owner Berlusconi's
he's going out with his daughter.
with who's daughter?
So
Our owner.
old owner Berlusconi.
You can't do that, you know, you just can't.
Wow.
Imagine how awkward that is.
You can't do that as a player. You can't go near the managers. No one within the team. You can't go near them.
Not in your own team anyway.
No.
My God, I mean, whatever's going on with Dele Alli, there's all that talk about Dele Alli with the Pep Stalker, isn't there?
Yeah.
At least they're not in the same team, right? Anyway, so you mentioned Salah before, and you said that you think that. Did you say Salah was better? You said, sorry, Suarez was better than Aguero, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In that season.
So where would you rank Salah then in terms of Premier League players of all time? Who's better for you? Because you're saying about Suarez.
All right. So that debate's hard just because Salah's only been in the Premier League really for 5 seasons or something. But he's still one of the best goal scorers that's ever been in the league, without a shadow of a doubt. When you're talking about Premier League legends, you've got to look at people like Gerrard, Vieira, Lampard, Thierry Henry, Aguero. You've got to look at these players that have served a long time in the league, and not only served time, consistently performed year after year. And Salah's done that, but for a short amount of time. So I'd say he's in the top 10. Everyone will remember Mo Salah, everybody, because he was just electric while he's been here. I'd say a good, I dare say it, number 7. No, like it's Ballon d'Or thing.
Really?
Yeah, I'd put him in top 10. I don't know what number, but I'd put him in top 10.
Okay. What do you guys reckon? Best Premier League?
What, Salah or just in general?
Just in general. Would you have Salah in there?
I'd have him up there, definitely,
Yeah.
but I still think it's a little bit too early just where to rank him. I think it's one of those ones where when he's been and gone, that's when you'll be able to have the discussion.
Yeah.
Because
I agree with that.
you know, if he hangs around Liverpool for another 3-4 years,
And does the
you
same.
know, and he keeps going the way he's going, there's a lot more league titles he can win, so that would be then. But I think Ronaldo's the best player who's played in the Premier League, but I think Henry's the greatest Premier League player just because he spent the majority of his career there in his prime.
It's difficult. It's a difficult question for me.
Ronaldo was young, went to Madrid quite young.
Yeah, I agree with you. I wouldn't put Ronaldo probably in there because of that. You know, spent 11 years away from the Premier League.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. It's been about 6 minutes so far. Doyle, what have you thought?
Liverpool look a little bit shaky at the moment right now. AC Milan can see that they're playing like a good bunch of young lads and they look like they want to take the game to us. And rightly so. They need this win. But again, the Liverpool lads look like they want to get stuck in. Look at that. Nico Williams just took him out.
They just need to settle, don't they? Build some confidence.
It's what you said at the start of the game. They all want to prove themselves, don't they? So Nico will want to be against these big lads and be like, look, I'm strong, I'm a good fullback, that type of stuff. So it's a little bit nervy at the moment, but I reckon they'll be all right because it is still, although it's kids, got a lot of quality in there, you know. Like, we've got Origi in there, still, and Manny and Salah and stuff. And that Morton, even though he's 19, is still a fantastic footballer.
It's still a decent side.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're at a club like Liverpool in the academy and you're called up to the first team, you're obviously a very good player.
Football. Yeah. Especially if Klopp's the one doing. Oh my days. Especially if Klopp's the one calling you up.
Yeah.
Klopp knows what he's doing, honestly, with these players. He really does.
Have full trust in him. Ajax have a penalty against Sporting Lisbon. We'll see how that one turns out. Guys in the chat have been putting in who they think is, in their top 10. Gerrard is a Prem legend.
He's my number 1.
Salah gets into my team, gets into any team in the world.
Yeah.
Stephen United, to be a Premier League legend, you have to have won it.
And we have.
Okay, which is a fair point. Someone said Andy Robertson is a bigger legend than Gerrard. Don't know what you're smoking. Just
Robbo's a legend, like, he definitely is, but
Ronaldo was better when he left. Oh, I mean, obviously, that was 11 years ago. Henry, best player. David Silva. Alan Shearer was the best Premier League player.
So he was playing just before the grow up. I know he's got the best records, like you see on Match of the Day, don't you? He's consistently top of every single leaderboard there is.
Yep.
So goal scoring wise, one of the best goal scorers we've ever seen.
Okay, Ajax have scored that penalty and it's now 1-0 Ajax against Sporting Lisbon.
Really like Ajax, I really do.
Yeah, be interesting to see how that game pans out. Lots of shouts for Alan Shearer, I have to say. If he would have played in a team like United, he would have over 300 goals.
And that's what it
Yeah,
is right
but
there.
he didn't know, so you
Yeah.
can't.
You
Like,
can't,
you've got to
what
look
if?
at the facts. Yeah.
And he still scored that many goals playing for Newcastle.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
did he play for Blackburn
and
as well?
Blackburn. That's
Yeah,
where
Blackburn.
he won the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Blackburn.
Absolutely crazy that they won the Premier League.
It is mad. It's a shame to see them so far down. I want to see Blackburn and like Notts Forest and all that. That's what I want to see in the
Yeah.
Premier League. See them back up a little bit.
Something exciting like that. You've got a super chat, Chris, from someone called Toby Austin.
Ah, yes.
Friend of yours?
Yes.
He said, how many beers you on tonight? Not got work in the morning. Mate.
No, I'm working tomorrow, but you only live once.
That's true. What do you do for work?
I'm an insurance broker.
Oh,
Yeah.
very fancy. Very fancy. Alex, what do you do?
Work in finance.
Wow. Okay, there's a very smart couch over there. Doyle?
You want to know what I do for a living?
Yeah, I know what you do, but you can tell everyone.
Bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. You made a lovely dal, didn't you?
Yeah, I made
Made a
dal,
lovely
like.
dal today.
I kick footies, that's what I do. I catch them on my back and that. Love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You do you, boo. You do you. Best
Aye.
Portuguese player in the Premier League. People having a debate in the chat.
Oh, at the moment,
It's got to be Bernardo
Silva.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I was looking at, right, you had a debate on this on the Saturday show, didn't you? Right?
Yeah.
And I was looking at this, right?
You did.
To me, Bernardo Silva is the better footballer than Jota, right? But Jota is a better goal scorer, and it's just he gets more goals, that's it. He's up at the top. But Bernardo Silva is definitely the best
If
player,
you had to
technically.
pick, who would you have?
In Liverpool, for Liverpool, Jota.
Okay.
He's
Yeah,
offside, he's offside again.
Bernardo Silva's definitely a hard worker and he'd fit into Liverpool, but Jota is proven that he'll work in our squad, so I just wouldn't want to change it. Also, Bernardo Silva hates Liverpool, and we don't particularly like him either, by the way. Yeah, so it's one of them. I wouldn't
I think
really.
Bernardo Silva's just a typical pet player as
Yeah.
well. Just he's wonderful to watch.
Portuguese players in general, mate. Every
Yeah,
single
just-
Portuguese lad that I know, all of them can kill footy.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you only have to look at Wolves to see about 20.
All of them, mate. I swear, they just come out of the
Portuguese
womb
players.
and they just know how to kick a footy. I
Yeah.
swear down.
There's some really talented players that we've had here. In
I
the
mean, how you were saying about how Dortmund hasn't gone through. There's Pedro Calves, I think it is,
Yeah.
for Sporting, who's unreal. I think he's about 19 or 20 years of age,
Yeah.
and I think he scored a couple of goals the game before that put him through to the knockout. So they have so many. They even have talents coming up now that are just. We've got Rafael Leao, who's the
Yeah.
Portuguese. Unfortunately, he's not playing
challenge.
tonight, but he's been on fire
How
this
has he
season.
injured himself?
Yeah. I mean, and I think that stands, Portugal in good stead because Ronaldo will be having to retire.
Yeah,
from,
of course.
he won't be able to play league
One
and
day.
it's international
Well,
forever.
they might not make the World Cup next
No,
year.
they won't. There's
But
that-
Italy might not either. So
it's crazy.
that's how it works now.
I really actually want to talk about that because this is like so. When is that game? March, right?
March, yeah.
which
Well,
is March.
we need to beat North Macedonia first.
This could be incredible. How is it possible that Italy have found themselves in this situation?
So we've got a bit of a Euro hangover. So since the Euros, we played this game against Bulgaria and we drew 1-1 and we battered them, but we just couldn't score and they scored off like their one chance. And then we played Switzerland twice.
And didn't they score in like the last minute?
Yeah, we drew both times and Jorginho missed a penalty in both games.
That was it.
And the last one, if he scored it, we would have gone through, and he skied it. But when he took this penalty, like he's normally like Mr. Reliable from the penalty spot. Since that Euro final, when he missed and Pickford made that brilliant save,
It's been in his head.
I think it's been a psychological thing
Yeah.
because he
lads, I've got one.
just can't.
Jorginho's been rated the third best player in the world, lad,
Yeah.
The world. The whole entire world, he's the third best footballer. Is he? Do you think he is? Italians?
Not top 3, but
No, he's not,
he
that's
should be in
right.
the top 10.
He's
This year he should be
definitely
in the top
brilliant.
10.
He's definitely brilliant, but he's just not the third best player in the
He
world.
wasn't even our best player at the Euros.
No.
I'm so salty about it all.
He's vital to the system we play.
Yeah.
Obviously, Spinazzola, our left
Mancini
back, and
built the
Chiesa
team
was
round
really the main.
Jorginho. It's just, I think it depends. What do you rank the criteria on for the Ballon d'Or?
We've had
It's
so
a sh-
many debates.
Yeah,
on this,
It's a
haven't we?
shambles.
It is
It's a shambles.
difficult.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so obviously the aim of the sport is to win a trophy.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Salah didn't win anything this year, but you're not gonna overlook him, sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas a lot of people, like I was saying to people, well, Jorginho won the 2 biggest trophies,
Yeah.
and he won that UEFA Best Men's Player. So a lot of like journalists are going to see that and think, well, I vote for him sort of thing, and so that's how he made the podium.
Well, apparently it's not actually judged on that. Apparently it's not necessarily judged on what you've won, because if you are judging it on what you've won, then you would have to argue that someone like Jorginho would win it.
Yeah.
And you know, there wouldn't be so much uproar about him being involved, but apparently it's actually not run on that, and it's also not won on necessarily like stats, because we were saying about Salah and how like it's unfair that obviously Mo Salah's like,
is it hairstyle? His haircut's nice.
and if you're basing it on stats and things like that, then how can Harry Kane be 23rd when he's top assister and top goal scorer?
Yeah.
You know, he can't be 23rd, I think, in the ranking.
It's like a popularity contest. That's what it really is.
It obviously is based on something
always
to do with that.
The most marketable athletes are always going to be the ones who are going to be up there.
Yeah, because there is absolutely no way that Lionel Messi deserved it based on the last year.
This is what the Ballon d'Or. Every time there's a major international trophy on that year of the Ballon d'Or, it's always usually goes to the player that wins, stuff like that, and it's Lionel Messi. As soon as he won that trophy, it didn't matter what he did. Yeah. It doesn't matter what he does. He's going to win it. Yeah.
So would you say that winning the Copa America is bigger than winning the Euros?
I think the Euros. I think it's the same.
Would you say it's around about the same?
Yeah,
it's the South American
the Euros
equivalent
has more teams, but they're worse.
Yeah.
Because it went from 16 to 24. So, you know, the Copa America obviously is smaller, but it's the same equivalent. Like we could sit here and say, oh well, Euros is more important, but you know, someone from South America is probably going to say the same thing about the Copa America.
It's the story behind it. That's what it's all about. So for Messi, for example, he's played for Argentina for years. I'd really hard time with them, got to finals and just lost everything all the time.
Yeah, they lost to Chile,
it's been romanticised, doesn't it? And rightly so, like he's won with Argentina and like he's made up, but that's not really the reason to win the Ballon d'Or in my opinion. I'd rather have Salah in my team than Messi. I really would.
Wow, that's a massive statement.
I really would.
Could you elaborate?
I'd rather have him because he's more effective in the Premier League. One, Messi's never been there. Two, Messi's proper old now, he's 34. Brilliant, one of the best players that's ever lived, if not the best. But still, Mo Salah at this moment is the best player in the world.
Did you say one of the best players, but not the best?
No, he is the best. Probably the best. Probably the best. But Mo Salah right now is still better. It definitely is. Messi, if he come into a Liverpool team, he wouldn't track back, he wouldn't run, he'd spec the ball into his feet all the time. He looks like, right, as we've seen through Messi going through his career, he's not being this clean-cut guy that we've all thought he is. Does that make sense? And I wouldn't like that in Liverpool because I feel like he'd get stroppy if he didn't necessarily get the ball, and Klopp would probably bench him. Genuinely, Salah is the right man for me at the moment.
Okay, there's that very big debate over like Messi or Ronaldo. I think it's a silly debate because I think they're both very different players. One probably can't do what the other one can do.
Exactly.
Vice versa.
I think that there's more people in the world that can do what Ronaldo does, but maybe just not as consistently as Ronaldo's done it.
Yeah.
Would you say that the fact that Messi has never played in the Premier League is fair to say, well, you've only played in... now he's obviously in Liga at PSG, but he hasn't played in another super competitive league?
Absolutely not, because there's players like back in the day, Pele, Di Stefano, Garrincha, Puskas, none of them played in the Prem. Yeah. Obviously back then their leagues were like the Brazilian league in the 60s was one of the best leagues in the world, but like I don't think that should be a reason to debunk Messi over the Ronaldo versus Messi saga.
I mean, I sort of disagree in the sense that if you played in more leagues and you're able to adapt more, it shows a certain quality that the other doesn't have really. Because now we're looking at Messi in the Ligue 1, for example. He hasn't scored many goals, scored one, hasn't he? One. Yeah. And that goes to show that he's been in his ways with Barcelona, playing one style of football where the team is built around him. So it makes his life a little bit easier. When you look at Ronaldo, he's went to all these different squads and they haven't necessarily built around him. When he's went to Juventus and when he's went to Man United, they haven't built around him. They just put him in the squad and he still scored goals. But I still think that Messi's a pure footballer and still better than Ronaldo. Yeah, he still is.
Yeah, I think Messi's he's a better footballer.
Yeah, he is.
But I think now obviously he's got the more Ballon d'Ors now. So the argument a few years ago used to be, well, like Ronaldo's legacy was greater because he had the international trophy, but Messi's got the equivalent now. So they're both very different at what they do. I just think Ronaldo's more lazy, inevitable in a big game. He's the guy that you want. I just think he won't do anything and he'll pop up
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll just do. You just know he's always going to get a chance.
And what moments
But
has
you
he
could
had?
all
say-
season
you
he's
could say
done that.
Messi, if obviously old at Barca, the same. You know,
Yeah.
Messi could just switch it on, and that could just be it, and
Yeah.
over for anyone who they're playing. By the way, it is Real Madrid 1, Inter Milan 0. So you guys would be happy.
I agree with this,
smiling
but
a bit?
also that point that he said there with Ronaldo. How many times have you seen Ronaldo in the last minute of the game, last kick of the game, just something where it rides on him doing what he needs to do and it coming? Like even remember there was a goal against was it Hungary when he scored that free kick in the last minute of the game. That's ridiculous. He, in my opinion, that's where he's got the edge over Messi in that type of professional athleticism. But Messi is still just the pure
in
footballer.
terms of talent and
Yeah.
God-given talent.
He's unbelievable.
Corner here for Liverpool. 20 minutes in, you guys. Alex, Chris, what have you made so far of Milan?
We haven't really had a chance, to be honest. I think we've been a bit flat. But I haven't really had the ball in the final third besides that free kick we had. Neither team seems to have control of the game. So
I feel like we're really lacking
Yeah.
on that left side. I mean, if we needed Leao on that left side, because although Krunic is a hard worker, that's all he's good at. He's not very good going forward. And Leao,
was bossing
he will go and he will take on, he'll go and take you on.
it's
and
very
he-
direct.
I like
and
Leo.
exactly. I think last night he was saying how Pep did an interview and he was talking about Leao,
Oh, nice.
and it was apparently Man City want Leao.
I can
So-
see him there. Totally see him there.
Oh,
He's a good player, Leo. He is. He scores all different types of goals as well. He does.
yeah.
Sort
he
of
was-
reminds me of Cornet. You've seen him?
Mate, yeah.
Yeah.
He plays for Burnley.
Yep.
Sort of reminds me of that type of player. He can volley a ball, head a ball, dribble a ball. He can do pretty much anything. Oh my days!
Oh my goodness.
That's a
Okay.
yellow card, I think, mate.
Looks
See, look,
like it.
see there, Kessie. If Leao was there, Leao would be on the left there. But because Krunic is there, Krunic is in the centre of there and the centre of that pitch, and there's no one to
Kessie.
pass to.
Kessie literally
So
grabbing
he's lost the ball.
Minamino.
That's a yellow card.
Yeah.
That, in my
I
opinion,
want to
like.
talk a bit more about Kessie. I've got a super chat to read out. Who said, lazy analysis to disadvantage Messi for not playing in the Premier League. Scored nearly as many goals for CR7 against the Big Six despite never playing in the Premier League. No one's discrediting
Has he
him.
scored
We're
against-
just
oh,
having
yeah,
a
he
chat, conversation.
No, yeah, he's definitely the best player that's ever lived, but also there's definitely different things that you can rate them on. And Ronaldo playing in different leagues is definitely...
He's definitely up there.
Yeah.
You know, as someone else said, is
yeah.
Keane better than Zidane just because he played in the Premier League? No, it's just, you know, taking into account different
Yeah.
leagues and the pressures that come in different leagues.
Exactly.
Right, Kessie, he's been linked with my team, Spurs, quite a bit.
Yeah.
He's been linked with Liverpool as well. What are your thoughts on Kessie? If he moves to the Premier League, what can we wait to see?
I think for the Premier League, like he's a very physical player.
Just seen
Like
him.
he'll fit in the Premier League well. It's a weird one with him. I remember we signed him a few years ago from Atalanta, and Roma were going to get him, and we got him, and I was really happy with the signing. And it took him a few years to get going. Like he was just like couldn't pass a ball more than 5 yards or anything. And then when Pioli came in and we changed to a pivot rather than a free, he was a completely different player. He's one of the best midfielders in the league last season. Like he was brilliant for us, but he's available on a free in the summer. And since there's been this contract situation, he's not been the same. He's not been as consistent. A lot of Milan fans put an argument forward that like when there's the crowd, he feels the pressure quite a lot. Last season, Serie A was behind closed doors.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll renew because his salary demands, they're very high, and Milan, we just can't afford to pay players that. That's why we had to sell Donnarumma on a free to PSG. We just couldn't give him what he wanted. So I think he'll be off. There's no sign that he
wants to
seems set
extend.
to renew.
He's got 6 months left, is that right?
Yeah, I just think there's always an argument, well, do you sell them in January to get money for them? But realistically speaking, if we sell him in January, we're not going to find a replacement as good as him for 6 months. Like,
Still got a season
as
to
frustrating
play,
as it is, you'd rather lose him on a free, but Milan, like all of our best players, they keep going for free. I don't understand how it happens. Donnarumma
painful.
on a free to PSG.
Yeah, which is crazy to let someone like Donnarumma go for
Çalhanoğlu
free.
on a free
Yeah.
to Inter. And now Kessie, who's like him and Donnarumma combined, if you were to sell them, it would have been a fortune that you could have got for them. And to lose both on a free, it's
I mean,
it's
is
very
that
frustrating.
poor management from your board? Because I mean, like you just mentioned, the Donnarumma thing, how you've let that happen is crazy.
Well, a lot of Milan fans turned around and said, oh, well, he was demanding too much. If he loves the club, you know, he's going to demand less.
He's only, how old is he, 22?
Yeah, like these guys aren't volunteers. They're the best.
Yeah,
He's one of the best keepers in the world.
If
you want the best players in the world,
you have to pay them.
You pay them what they ask for.
Mo Salah, Liverpool, do it, lads.
I just think, like, Donnarumma, okay, Manyan's been good for us so far, but Donnarumma's from the academy and everything as well, so to lose a player like that on the free,
heartbreaking.
does
One
leave
of,
a
and one of
sour
the best
taste in
keepers
your
in the
mouth.
world with so much longevity in him when you look at his age.
Yeah.
He's that good at,
He's
what,
huge.
22?
I just think because he is that good, where Milan are right now, he's levels above.
Yeah.
But obviously at PSG, it's not really. It's not really
for one of the
worked out
richest
for him
teams in
very
the
well.
world, they got a lot of free buys, mate.
Yeah,
Do you know
Ramos.
what
But it was because
Ramos.
they can pay the agents commission fees and stuff,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
be able to do that. Sporting have equalised against Ajax, so that game is currently 1-1. Just to run you through the scores: 1-0 Ajax Sporting, Dortmund 0, Besiktas 0, Porto 0, Atletico Madrid 0, Real Madrid 1, Inter 0, Shakhtar 0, Sheriff 0. Yeah, it's interesting though what has really gone on with AC Milan, because so much has obviously, changed, as we mentioned, over the years. What about your manager? Are you a fan?
I think he's done a good job, so, like how he's turned the club round. Because beforehand we were bottom half, but his career before Milan was very, he coached for 20 years and he'd never won anything in 20 years, which is a bit worrying. But I think for him, I think he's good, but I think he's just good enough for top 4, and that's it. I think if the squad wants to win trophies or something, maybe get a better guy in. But I think, considering how bad they were and what he's done, I think he's done a pretty good job. Just needs to win something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see if you're still top of the league come the end of the season, come top of Serie A. Doyle, how's Morton been playing? Have you been keeping an eye on him?
Yeah, it's been alright. Like I said, the young lads were starting nervy at the start, but right now they seem to be growing into the game. He's been alright. Simicast looks a little bit shaky today. He's done a few dodgy crosses, but Morton looks sad.
Yeah.
He just looks like he fits in the team already. He looked like that against Porto as well. I think he's number 80 over there.
Number 80, yeah.
He just sits in that little pocket there and he knows exactly when to pivot, when to pass it back, where to go. He's boss. Good little player, him. Looking forward to seeing how he develops in our squad.
Okay.
There he is. There he is.
There he is on the ball. Okay, so as we both have you here, Liverpool, AC Milan. How can we not talk about one of the greatest finals of all time?
The best one, yeah.
Istanbul.
Yeah.
Again, didn't end too well for you guys, but I want to know both your experiences of Istanbul. So, Doyle, let's start with you.
I was about 12 years old. I went round to my big brother's flat to watch this game with a load of Liverpool fans, all his mates. And we were really excited for it. We didn't really have the best team in the world, but we had a lot of passion and heart in the squad. And it was like, we beat Juventus, we beat Chelsea, all these big teams would come to us and we'd won. And there was this big buzz in the city, and it was like this energy that was just the best feeling ever, to be quite honest with you. And then we start the game, and they score almost immediately with Maldini. And I can tell you now, I didn't expect it to be 3-0 at half time, but I was crying my little eyes out. properly crying. And my big brother's an Everton supporter.
All right.
And he's looking at me, laughing at me, going, he's a losing. This is what you get, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all of that. And me mates are going, don't worry, lads, we'll come back, yeah, we'll come back. While looking the other way, like, oh, heavy this. And so, yeah, second half kicked off. No hope for it, really. And then we just come back with 3 goals. And I swear down, Vladimir Spitzer scored. Oh, there's a goal, there's a chance here.
Pause for a sec.
Go on.
Chance here for
Come on,
Milan.
bro. Hit that first time.
I overplayed that.
At least he got a corner out of
Needed
it.
to that first time.
Yeah.
It is a
Zlatan.
corner.
You expect him of all people to
Zlatan
have
should have
got
done
that
better.
Pull the
on that.
trigger.
Maybe thought he was going to injure himself.
It was, we scored them goals. Vladimir Spitzer scoring, was it the second goal or the equaliser, I think it was, no? Can't remember which one it was. But him scoring that goal, I literally remember being a kid when he went to pull the trigger, being like, no! And then it went in and being like, oh my days. And so by the end of the...
Yes! Come on!
Goal for Milan!
Fikayo.
Milan.
Tamori.
I met him
I
last
want to
week.
talk lots about Tamori because
Met him last
I'm
week.
a really big fan of Tamori. So let's talk about him in a moment after this. But anyway, wow. Okay, Milan,
brother.
goal. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Because now it's
Nervous.
it's obviously out of our hands still, because if Porto score or Atletico decide to turn it on, but then also we're playing Liverpool, so maybe it's a good thing Ibrahimovic didn't do that first time now.
There
So.
we go. Done well. Nice goal from Tamori, who we will look at deeper. Saved initially by Alisson.
Taku should have done better
Could
there.
only palm it out.
I think that's poor marking there.
Yeah,
It was
it's
bad
not-
from Minamino, lad. He should have just cleared that very easily.
Yeah, it's like everyone stood still.
Yep.
Yeah. Terrible that.
Not looking too good.
But at least he got a goal.
Yep, that's kind of come against the run of play, really, because from anything I've seen, it's kind of been more Liverpool dominating in the middle of the park. Not too many chances.
We like to come back from a goal down, though. That's what Liverpool think now.
Yeah,
As these lads know, actually.
Yeah,
As we were just so
Thank you for reminding me.
Dortmund are also 1-0 up against Besiktas. Sorry, we interrupted your story.
It's a very long story, actually. It's a very memorable one for me.
Carry
But by
on.
the end of these 3 goals that we'd scored, I was on me mate's shoulders and he was throwing me about and we just couldn't believe what was happening. And then, do you know when Jersey Dudak made that double save?
Yeah.
I knew we were going to win it then, you know. There was as soon as he done that and he stood up and he was like, how have I just done that? What just happened? I knew we were going to win, lads. I could just feel it. And then, Andrei Shevchenko.
He had everywhere to put it.
And
he put it
straight at
right
him.
next, he put it straight at him.
Jersey Dudak didn't even know what he'd done. He
Yeah,
saved him and
exactly.
stood up and went, what just happened?
Yeah.
'Cause that, I don't know how I did that. It was mad. And then, when we won that game, I had tears of happiness and it was like one of the best moments of my life. Like we hadn't won the Champions League for a very, very long time. Like so, the buzz in Liverpool City, oh my God, it was one of the things that inspired me to play football. It was
Really?
one of the things that inspired me to be a freestyler. Like Gerrard and that team and like Gerrard being the captain and everything based around him, and he was a scouser, a proper scouser. Like it was a big thing. Like everyone growing up wanted to be Steven Gerrard, and then he done something else in the FA Cup final. Like he was just that man, and that whole team gave a generation of young scousers something to believe in.
Yeah.
It really did. And after that final, I'll never forget it. Genuinely, it had a profound effect on me, and I know it would have for a lot of young kids watching that.
Oh, wow.
I bet you Trent watched that and was like,
I
I
was gonna
want to
say,
be there.
There was that comment Trent put out today, wasn't it, talking about Steven Gerrard, saying how he literally idolised him growing up and just wanted to be him, and he can't believe that his life is
Is like this.
turned into.
And he is.
what it has.
He's not the new Gerrard, but he's the new coming of the new Scousers. That's what we love.
Yeah.
In Liverpool, we're very proud. I know Italians can deal with this, can relate to this as well. Very proud of our identity and who we are, and that gives us a heart and a passion in the football that you can't get, you can't buy that, you can't fabricate it or synthesize it. It's a real thing, and that's why we win cups. That's why we win Champions Leagues. Same for you guys.
Yeah.
That's exactly why when Donnarumma left, there was so
Heartbreak.
many, even in 2017, when he asked for more money for renewal of his, of his
shock
renewal of
for
his contract. There was times when he was, I think it was 19 at the time, under 21s, there was Milan fans went to a Euro under 21 game and threw money at him. Like this is like the Italian core of our academy, like wanting more money and then obviously leaving and stuff. It hurts, but we signed Tonali from Brescia, and he's a Milan fan. He's been a Milan fan since he was a little kid, and this season he actually didn't he take a
pay cut
to stay with us.
See, I love that. I mean, I know that obviously football is, about money, and you shouldn't,
Another injury.
Yeah.
I guess if it was in any other industry, you would, not take a pay cut and you'd be annoyed if it happened to you. But I think if you really love the club,
Gerrard.
I mean, there is that, I have to say, going back to Messi, there's that
That's a
argument
fact.
that, did Messi need,
To
he
take the pay cut?
probably could have stayed at Barca and played for free, potentially, no?
Yeah, the reality is, right, with these players, they're top players. The reason why they're the top is because they have ambition and they want to win.
Yeah.
And at the moment, unfortunately, some clubs are not able to offer these players the things that they need. And in my opinion, Messi did not see Barcelona winning the Champions League.
No,
but he
he
did
didn't.
see PSG winning it. And he thought, you know what, I want one last song before I finish my career. I want to win this Champions League. I'll go and meet up with my mate Neymar and we'll win it together. That's what this is all about. These have got massive ambition and they're champions. It's the same reason why Wayne Rooney, proper Scouse young kid, come from the Everton Academy, loved that club, see it, blue forever and all that stuff when he scored his goals and all that. But then he didn't have the stage that he needed to be on because he's that top player. And so it's really sad to see it, but unfortunately some of the clubs are just not in the right position for these players to have them.
That's fair
And that's what Donnarumma is at the moment. Like he's at a great side, but you don't have the platform that he needs to be on.
I completely understand why he left. I think a lot of footballers there should be some accountability for their career choices.
Harry Kane, lads.
Like Kane.
Not to disrespect
agree.
Tottenham, but Harry Kane, lads.
I
But
totally agree with you.
signing a 6-year contract, you know, and then wanting to leave after a year. Why would you sign it in the first place if you knew you wanted to leave?
Yeah.
Odd. I
Yep,
don't get it.
it is odd. People do weird things, especially when money is involved. Right now, after that goal, kind of interrupted the Istanbul flow. What's your take on Istanbul? I want to know both your stories. 'Cause I'm sure they're both going to be different, aren't they?
Well, I was only 6, so it's a bit different. But I do remember watching the first half because my cousin, he's a big Milan fan, but he's from Milan, but he was in England at the time for the final, so he watched out ours. So he was ecstatic, all this, and then obviously as a 6-year-old, at half time it was bedtime, and then
no way.
all of a sudden during the night I hear banging, all this stuff, and then obviously in the morning I'll wake up in the morning and I'll ask my mum, like, what's going on? And I was like, Nicole is his name, my cousin. He was like, Milan lost the final, and it was just like,
You couldn't believe
like
it.
how. Then obviously as I got older, I rewatched the final, and it's
One of them
insane what
moments in
happened.
football that you can't explain.
Nah,
That's what
it's
football's
just-
all about, is them type games.
Something just turned, the gods turned
Magic,
it.
football magic, like it is. It really is.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite incredible, going to bed 3-0 up and then waking up and
Yeah, and lost.
it's more of a nightmare. Chris, how was your experience with it?
I barely remember it, to be honest.
How old were you?
I was only 6 as well at the time, so it's
You're making me feel old, lads.
I was going to say.
Go on!
Oh, and it's an equaliser.
Mo Salah.
Mo Salah with the equaliser.
That is a howler. I can't believe
Keeper
he's
should have
done
done
Keeper
that.
should have done better
yeah.
with that. He
How-
spilled it and Salah was able to tuck
You're
it
offside.
home.
How are you going to parry that out to Salah of all players as well?
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's-
It wasn't even that difficult as a
That's
shot.
poor from Kessie there alone, but that is just that's shambolic.
Do you know what though, lad? I was watching your keeper today, mate. He's dropped a few little things. He seems a little bit nervous, lad.
Well, he's been out for 2 months, hasn't he?
Poor lad. And is this his first game back?
Yeah.
That's so much.
No, not first game back. Third, second.
Okay,
third
so
game
yeah,
back,
okay,
third
so
game
he
back.
should be in the run of it now.
What was the injury he had?
So he had something wrong with his wrist.
As a goalkeeper.
Yeah, and it was one of these things that needs to be operated on. It was like something that progressively got worse over time.
Oh, really? Like a
Then
carpal
Suarez
tunnel
stamped on it.
situation.
as well.
And someone stamped on it, and that kind of aggravated it, and then that's where he needed the operation.
Yeah. So did he come in the summer?
Yeah,
This
he
keeper?
was Donnarumma's replacement, but it was already agreed before Donnarumma left, because I remember it was maybe February time when they kind of
That's a
said
foul.
they kind of, what? How's that not foul?
So he got the ball, like, wow. I thought it was foul too, lad.
They said, yeah, there's a deal was being agreed for Manyan, and you know, he's obviously, it was 15 million. You know, you're not going to pay that for a second keeper in Italy. So that's when everyone kind of thought, well, you know, I think Donnarumma's going, sort of thing. Like, I'd never seen him play before Milan. I know he won the league with Lille last season, had the most clean sheets. But you know, for Milan, like he's been good, but
is
you know,
it
he's
because
no Donnarumma.
you're constantly comparing him to Donnarumma?
Yeah,
which
that's
is
what our fans love to do,
probably
yeah.
a bit harsh because
unfair,
you know, Donnarumma is just something else. He's one of the best in the world, but Manyan's been a bit shaky since his injury, which is understandable. But you can't make a mistake like that in a game with so much on the line.
Yeah.
So if you go out tonight, well, you'll obviously drop into the Europa League.
Yeah.
Will you be prioritising the Europa League, do you reckon?
Well, if
or-
we won't.
Yeah, there's a chance you might not,
We
actually.
don't.
if
Yeah.
you finish, if you
Which
wow.
for most Milan fans, for most Milan fans would rather not be in it because of how many injuries we have as it is.
You just need to play in
Yeah, we need them players for Serie A, and if we can win the title, then
So
Proper one, that
that's,
one.
that's what's
Offside,
the most
surely.
important.
He must be offside.
Chance here for Liverpool.
It's in. Oh.
It's not in from
It looked like it was
from
got- was it
Mane.
it's offside. Yeah.
So why are
They
you
need
giving
to-
that
I
so
hate
late?
this.
They
I
need
hate
to
when
they
sort
do
this
that.
out. Let's get them on
What if
nerves.
that there's going to be a time where someone's going to get like injured, like
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
it's miles
miles
off.
off.
When it's miles off, I think they should do it. When it's very close, maybe
Yeah,
not.
no,
But
yeah.
when it's blatant like that,
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
just-
waste
I
of
don't
players'
understand
energy.
the benefit of them not of changing that rule. That you
It's
don't put the
annoying.
flag up.
I was
It's-
watching match of the other day, right? And they were playing Liverpool v Wolves on it. And half the chances that Wolves had were offside.
Yeah.
But they were
And
still
they were
playing them, and I was like,
miles
they're
off
not
as
real
well.
chances,
Yeah.
they don't count.
Yep, it's very odd. I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. So yeah, so your biggest priority for Milan will be the league.
Yeah.
It's a weird Italian teams, and the Europa League is a weird one. They don't seem to care. It's almost like it's a
Snobbery.
it's hassle for them.
Okay,
A lot of teams that are put out either second string, or the players are just like, I can't be asked. The managers kind of see it as like, well, you know, I'd rather not be here. Prioritise the league.
Yeah.
So I think
That's what Napoli are doing
Yeah,
this season.
I think-
Napoli are second, 1 point behind us, and I think they need to beat Leicester on
Yeah.
the final day to go through. Because
Yeah.
they lost twice to Spartak Moscow.
Yeah, yeah.
So
They just Italian teams just don't take
they
it
don't
seriously
really take it,
because in Italy, there's nowhere near as much money as there is in the Premier League. So it's
Yeah.
all about getting top 4. So you have that Champions League money. So
Yeah. I think that's why. I mean, Arsenal started the trend, kind of making top 4 a trophy, but
Yeah.
it actually is because of the the good things that come along with getting in the top 4 and attracting the players. I'm just having a quick look at your table now. We can all see it up on the
So
screen.
tight, it's unbelievable.
how is
Liverpool currently top your group of death, winning 5 out of 5. Porto are currently sitting second, so that means that they would go through. They're currently,
Oh, no, we are
they're
in
currently
third.
drawing.
on the
They're currently drawing 0-0 with
On
Atletico.
goal difference.
third
You
goal
guys
difference?
are sitting third in that table. Your last 3 have been losses.
Great
what a great challenge.
No, the other way.
That's great though.
Oh, and
First 3 were losses.
First 3, thank you. Reading the other way. And then Atletico right down there at the bottom, which is kind of crazy when you think about Atletico Madrid. Have you been disappointed by them, Doyle?
Yeah, like I said earlier, there's been a few
No.
teams in the Champions League that have actually really disappointed me, and it was a shame to see AC Milan come in and had such a poor start really, and they've carried it on, but they've been unlucky. They've been unlucky in the same vein. So I think what you'll get is you get Champions League again next year, and you'll learn from this massively.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
won't be
what
as
it's going to
naive.
be. There'll be a massive learning curve for a lot of these young players, but I just think I think we'll qualify for the Champions League again next season.
So do I.
I think we're in a good position in the league, but
That's
we'll
a
need
foul.
to sign
About time.
a lot more experienced players. I think a lot of the players in this Milan, they're decent players, but they're not players who should really be a part of a squad that wins trophies. They're not good
For
enough.
AC
Or maybe a lot of these starters are players
They're
who
stepping stones,
who
basically.
can be depth players eventually. I think that's what most of them will be, but it's
Side.
You're
just
going to
too
need to
difficult.
finish in that top 4 spot to get the investment you need to rebuild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just having a look here at the rest of the tables. So currently we'll see Dortmund, they'll drop into the Europa League. I just need to get this to scroll. I can see the other teams.
Yeah.
But Ajax are currently topping that group. Sporting will also go through. Dortmund are in third. Besiktas will go out.
Terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Dortmund, again, another massive club that have been, kind of iconic in the Champions League.
Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland. that are now-
Jadon Sancho.
He was amazing last season when he filled in. But you know what? Seeing them be so poor breaks me heart a little bit, because they're everyone's team in Germany, aren't they? Everyone loves to see Dortmund do well, but they're just. Oh right. There
And
we go.
literally, as we
Really?
said that, Ajax have
Come on,
just
Dortmund.
scored.
Really?
I want to see them in the quarters. I really do.
Ajax have just scored.
I thought it
Which basically means, as we were saying about Dortmund, how disappointed we've been, and the prospect of them dropping into the Europa League
How much
as it
is
stands
Dortmund
because of the table.
Oh, good ball.
And do you know what?
They
The
will
group,
go through as
That's
second.
onside.
Put it
as
through.
stands.
Oh.
We're just waiting for confirmation on that.
That's annoying because he should be in the
No,
box.
that's poor.
you know what as well, right?
He always does that. He's always 18. He's always moves himself out, and then there's no one in the box for the cross.
Do you know when Liverpool won the Champions League the last 2 recent times? Yeah, we done crap in the group stage. We lost every away game in one of them. In the first one when we done the 3-3, we had to win on the last game and win by a certain amount of goals, and we did it.
Yeah.
So group never really tells you who's going to win.
Yeah.
No,
I know
absolutely.
you'd seem like it would, but it just doesn't.
Oh,
So
my
Dortmund could go on now and have a boss
Dortmund
run.
could go on and let's see. I mean, they're such a massive club. They're iconic, aren't they?
Yeah.
Jurgen Klopp's old side as well.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the others that could drop in. I mean, Ajax. I'm a big fan of Ajax.
I love them. I love Everton.
Especially
Yeah,
because they
they're
let us
very
knock
good.
them out of.
No, I don't know. You've done well there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
It was a great Champions League. That it was open to the final.
It was.
That was
Yeah.
such a good Champions
It was,
League.
Bar the
it was the
final.
best
Yeah.
campaign in years. The final wasn't great, but some of the games, like obviously the 4-0 for
Yeah.
you lot against Barca.
3-2.
Yeah, that Spurs
3-2, yeah.
comeback was amazing. yeah, it was a great run, and
Penalty for Dortmund as well.
obviously Ajax's run,
Oh, Besiktas.
and knocked out Madrid and Juve.
Yeah.
It was a great year.
This
It
really
was,
has turned
really
in
was.
Dortmund's favour. Besiktas have a red card and Dortmund have
Come
a
on,
penalty.
Dortmund. I want to see you
So Dortmund look like they've actually now changed their fortune since we started talking about them,
Good.
and they will be going through as it stands to the knockouts.
You never want to see good teams.
Oh,
drop out.
Ibra's never
Ibra's
going to
never
get
gonna
that.
Okay,
At least
just
we got a throw-in out of it.
having another look.
Especially with Dortmund's got a massive support. You've seen the yellow wall.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Well,
the stadium's
that's-
massive.
Yeah.
Did you just see
That's
the ball boy?
Yeah.
Ball boy just stacked it.
Their stadium's absolutely amazing. I mean, Spurs literally have played them like every time I've been in the Champions League, so I've been there,
Yeah.
I've been there so
Oh,
many
that's
times.
a quality away day.
But it is an amazing away day, really amazing away day.
One of my mates is here today, by the way, lads. And Abby.
Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah, one of my mates is in the San Siro right now. Scouse lad. Name's Dan.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
That's
no,
a foul.
I know a
Thank
few
you.
people who have gone to the game tonight.
I'd love to go there. When's it getting knocked down? It's getting knocked down, isn't it?
Well,
It's still another 5 or 6 years if it
Oh, right.
happens
Serie
there.
A with new stadiums is a joke. So, you know, this new stadium with Milan and Inter has been talked about for like the last 5 years. So, whenever that happens, it's like if.
It's all
If and
about...
when.
So it's not actually underway at the moment.
No.
No, apparently
right.
they've got the planning permission for it, but they say this all the time and then
They
it gets
missed.
cancelled. It's just very.
Dortmund missed their penalty.
Wow, Dortmund
Fantastic.
have missed their
Who was it? I wonder who it was.
penalty.
Does Haaland take penalties?
He should do, because he
assume
rifles
so.
everything in the goal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He literally kicks the ball in one of the most unique ways. He runs in a unique way. He's just a nut of that kid,
I think
but he's
he's
boss.
He's insane. I think he's got, what, 52 goals in 52 games in the
Yeah.
Bundesliga.
He is like
It's
a
insane.
human Red Bull, lad. He's just pure
unreal.
energy,
He had
human
a
electricity.
hip injury. He said he was supposed to be back in January. He was back like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
insane.
Did anyone see that on Monday Night Football last night?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What was that all
Jamie
about?
Carragher,
Yeah.
she was like
That's
baiting everyone, being like, "We've got Haaland on the show," so everyone's obviously tuning in to be like, "Wow, Haaland's on the show," and then he wasn't. They were just doing analysis on one game.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, he's
The
He's a funny guy.
outrage.
I love Carragher. Love
The
him.
absolute outrage.
I love
of
seeing
that.
him and Neville together.
Right, we're 2 minutes away or so from half time. What have you made of this first half from a Milan perspective, guys?
It's not been great. You know, the goal came from a set piece, and it was spilled by Alisson as well. You know, we've not really created many chances. You know, considering this is
Oh, well.
I don't think-
a weaker Liverpool team. I know this isn't Milan's strongest team, but I expected a bit more, maybe a few more chances. You know,
That missing
just-
Leao is
yeah.
it's just killed us because mainly we go down the left with Leao because he's more direct, and then obviously Theo sometimes overlaps. But like Krunic is in the middle, so Theo can't overlap that much because then if he's out of position, then straight away
wasn't a
Salah's
foul,
through, and you can't let someone like Salah through.
No, you can't. It was a big mistake. You can never let Mo. You can't even let him have the ball, lad, let alone have a sight
Exactly.
of goal. You can put 5 people in front of him, lad, and he'll just go, oh, in a goal. He just does it.
And what have you made of it so far?
Great. Professional little performance from this young squad. I've loved it. They've been on top of the game, in my opinion. They've had most of the ball. They've played just the way the first team does. They haven't necessarily been as deadly, but they've...
Yeah, I
Thanks.
thought so. I thought no, because when I read it, I was like, no, that's wrong because they changed the rules now.
Yeah, thanks
They've
for the
gone-
correction, guys, in the back.
It's now on matches
They might
against each
get,
other.
might be 8 goals,
Yeah,
or they could
they
score
could be
8
an
now.
8-goal swing. Has anyone seen Ted Lasso?
Well, yeah, if they
think
scored
so.
that penalty, then you need them.
Yeah, thanks, guys. The guys in the back, and obviously I didn't miss the super chat. Thank you, someone who's trying to bait me in these comments, who really irritate me. Box of Orange 84 had actually already pointed that out, so thank you for correcting us lot over here. Who said Sporting have the tiebreaker with Dortmund, so Dortmund can't jump into second place. Europa League is guaranteed for Dortmund, so thank you very much for
Poor
cleaning
Dortmund.
that up. Yeah, we will obviously get a table of everyone that could potentially drop into that for the second half. Ahead of that, though, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half with the kids, because Liverpool kids, I'm excited to see them come on. You must be excited to see them come on.
I'm happy just with how they've played so far. They've set up just
Yeah,
like it's
they
exactly
have
like the
been good,
first team. They feel like they've just played the exact same style They've done it all really well. No one's been a key weakness. I've not been able to put one player in there and go, he's not really doing well. They all seem like they're all vibing together, so this is great. I feel like they could win this game.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. They've got the senior members are doing well at keeping the young lads in check. You can see Alex is having a good game. Ox, Manny and Salah always have a good game anyway. Alisson seems to be commanding the back line. Nat Phillips has played many games for Liverpool now, so I'm happy. We've been great so far.
I don't think we've actually taken it to them that much, though. To be honest, for them to actually have any of the youngsters to have a problem for them, it's probably like a dream right now. How they're playing well. They haven't had many issues from us because we're not really taking it to them. We're just not. We're not attacking enough. We're not creating the chances that we need to go through. Like Liverpool don't need. They can be on. They can just chill and play their football with no consequences with us.
Because you're not threatening.
Exactly, and
at
as
all.
Manyan made the mistake on that parry, it's cost us now. So we're playing the game with consequences. If we make errors, well, they can make the errors, and it's not much of a big deal.
Yeah.
You just need more creativity, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't have it. We don't have it on the bench.
You mentioned your bench, which is a real problem for you. So is there anyone on that bench that you could bring on to give you some type of hope?
We literally don't have any. Rebic, Leao, Giroud, they're all injured. I mean, we've got Salmaker's beast. He hasn't. He scored one goal in 300 days. Like, he's just.
Yeah, he's.
One goal in 300 days. That's a good start.
Yeah, what was it? He scored on the weekend. His first goal in about a year.
Yeah,
and he's our starting right winger as well.
We don't have any players on the bench who are going to change this game unless it's a miracle sort of thing.
Maldini?
Well,
he hasn't really played much, has he? I think.
Yeah. He played. He scored his first goal against Spezia a few weeks ago. It was a lovely header sort of thing, but he's not had consistent game time really. Like he's more of a depth option at the moment, but. Yeah, there's not really anyone who can come on to change the game, but we need a different attitude in the second half. Like we've got to come out like firing out the blocks, try getting early goals as soon as possible. Because to be fair, like obviously I know Liverpool are through anyway, but they've had a few chances, but there's not really been anything. Okay, it was from a parry, but there's not been anything too testing. So it's not like we've been dominated or anything. So if we get another goal, you know, it's not like we're on the back foot. Like we were at Anfield sort of thing, where even when we were winning, both of us were sat here kind of expecting to come out and lose. Yeah. Whereas it's been a different game tonight.
Yeah,
it'd be very interesting to see that second half. Yeah. Tomori, I wanted to ask you about him before because obviously a Chelsea Academy graduate, made the move permanent, didn't he, over to AC Milan. How have you found him since he's come in?
He's unbelievable. Our fans just love him. I mean, he's so solid. I mean, the perfect opportunity for you to revive your career because he's still young, but to get first team football in a league that's known for its defensive play and technicality. Yeah. And he's shining. And of course, he's got Maldini giving him pointers. Like, if Maldini calls you, then you're going to go over.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's a great player. I don't know why Chelsea weren't keener to hold on to him, but they do have that thing, Chelsea.
De Bruyne, Salah, Lukaku.
I know, but that's what I was going to say. They do have that thing where they sell players, they go on and do amazing, and then go to other teams. But also they're very kind of lenient with their youth players. We see like Conor Gallagher at the moment, Livramento, Billy Gilmore, and there's so many more that I can't.
They started putting buyback clauses in them now. They sold Sammy Abraham, didn't they, to Roma?
Yeah,
and they like put a buyback clause in that because he might come with a direct player.
They've got a great academy.
They really do.
But obviously because they've got the funds to go out and buy the best players as well, like obviously the Lukaku transfer. A lot of those academy graduates, no matter how good they are, they're not going to get a chance at that time to get into the squad. But I love Tomori. I think he's quality. Like I've been really impressed with him since he's come in. He's one of my favourite players. Yeah. So I'm very pleased with his progress. Like just very physical. He's quick. Just a defender. He's very reliable. I really like him.
He's not a captain, is he?
No. So Romagnoli's our captain, but he's kind of lost his place in the starting lineup when Kier was there. He was more on the bench. So he was one of the biggest prospects, Romagnoli, of Italian football as defenders that came through. And in the last few years, it's just gotten worse. Like he's 27 now, nearly 28. It's one of those ones where he's not. I don't think he's hit his potential, and that he ever will. He reminds me a bit of Maguire sometimes. He's just a very doesn't move sort of thing. And you're looking at him like, what are you doing? Like it's quite frustrating to watch.
Yeah.
But then sometimes he'll do something and you'll be like, oh wow, like I wish you could do this on a more regular basis. But Tomori's our best defender, like centre back by a mile. Like he is just a different class.
I always love seeing young English players who are at big clubs and just decide, you know what, I want my career to get going now. I'm not waiting for it to be ready. I want to do it now. Like Jadon Sancho.
I was going to say, Jadon Sancho kind of started the trend in doing that, and rightly so, because why should you wait? You know,
didn't a few Arsenal players go to Germany as well?
Yeah, there's been Arsenal players.
Nelson went there recently.
Yeah. Like genuinely, I love it. Even Jude Bellingham now, he's one of the best talents in English football at the moment, and he's picked his career up this early because he decided that's what he wants to do. He hasn't just waited for someone to say you're ready. He goes, no, I'm ready now. I'm better. I'm good enough to be in a first team in European football. It's boss to see. I really like that.
Yeah.
Shows a lot of ambition. Shows what type of player they're going to be in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Would you be upset to see Liverpool players start doing that? Because do you feel like they get a?
Not at all. Not at all. They get a broader variety of European football. They learn a trade in a different. It depends what league they go to actually as well. It does depend what league they go to. But if they go to Germany, Italy, Spain, maybe not so Spain anymore, but yeah, if they go to Germany or Italy, I'm happy to see them there playing good football.
Michael Owen is dressed up for the occasion.
Michael Owen.
Suit and tie. They all have, all four of them actually.
Peter
Suit
Crouch.
and tie. Just back onto Kessie. John Clarity has put in the chat, does Kessie suit Liverpool or Spurs more, if the rumours are true?
It's a tough one because he is quite a workhorse. So for a Klopp team, that's a player you want, but it's the same with Conte as well. There's two teams that don't really rely on technical players that much. It's more about everyone works for the team. They all have their own roles. Maybe not all the players are the best on paper, but it's a good squad. I think either or really.
Okay.
I agree.
Both.
Who would he come in for in both sides?
I think he starts over every Spurs midfielder at this moment in
Very
time,
fair
to
point.
be honest with you.
Apart from Oliver Skip, I wouldn't let Oliver Skip out my team.
But I think, with Liverpool, maybe.
I don't know where you could put. That's what I'd say. That's what I was going to say.
Tottenham.
I don't think he would get in at Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be in Liverpool starting 11.
Okay, so who would you play him alongside then?
In Liverpool?
No, at Spurs.
I think Ndombele's good when he puts his mind to it, but
he's
just.
He's going.
I don't know.
I think Ndombele, Kessie would be good, but obviously he's not really.
Is he more or less creative than Ndombele?
Less. He's not a creative player. He's someone
that. He's a workhorse, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a workhorse. Like he used to try too much, and I think since Pioli came in, he kind of said, I think Kessie understands he's got limitations to his game. So it's more about, look, you just break the play up, you give the passes short, that sort of stuff, get the attack going. And he's good at penalties as well, which is always quite good to have. In a big team, you're always going to be favoured a bit more when it comes to getting decisions.
Yeah, Spurs are in desperate need of some attacking threat, though, some attacking players and link-up play. But hey ho, it's good to see what's going on. There's been quite a lot of rumours surrounding it, so you probably would think that he would fit more into that Spurs side.
Yeah, I can't really see him come to Liverpool.
Yeah,
I don't just let Gino and
because his
exactly.
salary demands are big. Obviously let Ronaldo go because they didn't really.
We've got to pay Mohamed Salah whatever he wants.
Hesitant with Salah as well. I can't see Liverpool giving into those sort of wage demands for Kessie. It's not that sort of club.
What kind of wages is he
Wants
asking?
10 to 12 million.
And that's
He's not going to get that at Spurs.
And what's he on now? 3 or 4 million.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Why are these players like
He was
this?
his agent.
Yeah,
it's his agent. It's literally his agent. That's like pushing
It's
him.
more than double his wages. No job you
in
can do
Italy,
that.
it's net when they report salary as well. So that's close to 20 million that they're going to have to fork out for him. That's just
ridiculous. That's more like in no job in the world can you go, I want double my wages now, please.
Yeah.
It's
Not
like,
if you'd all go, no.
It's not like he's won anything or Milan have won anything or done something. I don't understand the justification behind those demands.
It must be agents. Agents nowadays in
Yeah,
football
always.
are ridiculous.
Yeah,
See it all the time.
They wanted to put a law about the agents, about them getting commissions, and then all the agents had a massive, like, they were going to protest about it and stuff. Like, I'm pretty sure for Haaland, Raiola wants like 40 million commission. when they sell him.
Yeah, something's. But
mental.
Mino Raiola's his agent, right?
Yeah.
For Haaland. So
40 million.
you
You've
know
got to pay a
that's exactly
transfer
what he
fee
wants
for
to
the
do.
player
If-
and the
Yeah.
agent.
If you deal with a Raiola client, you know that you're going to have to give him like demands.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he's like. So there's no point moaning about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the thing is
Yeah.
that with Haaland, you think about it, he probably would go for what 100, well over 100.
I think it's
over 100 million. Wouldn't
He's
he?
got a release clause of
He's-
75 million.
I think it's I think it's between 60 and 70 million. So
Yeah.
in Raiola's argument is, will you be paying the
Yeah.
full amount if you would have gone and bought
Yeah.
him?
For Dortmund,
Without that.
his release clause is 65, 75.
Yeah, I think it's 66 million.
Why
and,
are people not just throwing bids
Because
in for
I
him?
Because you
think-
wait till the summer and then it's a free.
It's only-
It was
only
from
available
from this summer. That's
Yeah.
why no one bought him last year.
Yeah.
Because it's available from
You would have
the
had
year.
to
That's what they
spend
put in the
100 and-
contract.
So wait,
clause.
he's got no contract at the end of the summer?
No, that's why it's up for grabs.
Okay, he's definitely going.
I've got no idea where he's going to go though.
Well,
Because
I think he'll go Real Madrid, you know.
I think
I
I've
think
got a
he'll go
I
feeling.
don't
think
think
they
if
go City.
Mbappe goes, I don't think they'll both go. I don't think
No.
Mbappe wants Haaland next to him.
Haaland don't go to City,
I
lad.
think
Yeah.
Haaland
He'll-
will go
he'll-
to
he'll
City.
I
probably
don't
be
know.
City.
I
He doesn't
think,
fit them though,
I
in
think
my
Pep's
opinion.
going to take another hit at Kane.
No,
summer.
see, the way I feel like it.
She's gonna say
No,
no.
do you know why? Because I think that it was the wrong move for Kane to be at City anyway. They don't play with that out-and-out target man. I think Haaland
need
fits better
one, though.
into like a 3 if they're
At
going to do
Liverpool,
that.
he'd fit boss in Liverpool,
He would
Haaland.
fit in, but
Yeah.
even
He's not going
they
to come
couldn't
late
do
because
it.
we've got the best player in the world. But if I'm totally honest, you know where I could see him? Man United as well.
See, I feel that
But I don't think that will happen.
I have this feeling that Pochettino will
Not
end up
right
at
now, though, I
Manchester
don't think
United come the summer. So I have this feeling that there's a lot of moving parts in this. I think Mbappe will go to
Yeah,
Madrid.
there is.
I think that's
I
just
think
everyone
Haaland will go to
knows that's
City. I
happening.
think Pochettino will go to United, and Harry Kane will go to United.
Harry Kane's going to go to United. He
I
fits
just,
United.
that's how in
Yeah,
my
actually,
head
yeah.
I see
Harry
the
at United
moving
would be-
parts of it.
There's
And
been
I
a
just
lot
don't
of-
see any of them going with Ronaldo there because Ronaldo's going to play as a 9 and as a 9 only.
But
He won't
Ronaldo
move
will
to
only
left.
have 1 year left. He only signed
Yeah.
a 2-year deal. So I think if someone like Pochettino comes in, I don't think we've seen Pochettino bench Messi multiple times. I don't think that Pochettino would have an issue with
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ronaldo
I
for the
don't-
sake
I don't
of one
think
season.
Pochettino will be at United.
I don't think he'll
he
go.
will.
I think since the whole Rangnick situation where he's come in, I think it will be different. I don't think Pochettino will end up there. I think it will
Do you
be
think they'll give
someone
it to? Do you think
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag, really?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, I think Rangnick will do the 6 months, and I think because he's got that director role.
Oh yeah,
where-
for 2 years.
For 2 years, and I think he'll bring someone else in with a similar philosophy to him. So it
Yeah.
might be someone who's quite more unknown.
That's why I think Ten Hag, because
so
Ten
I
Hag's
think
got a
Ten Hag,
philosophy.
yeah.
He's grew up in an academy. Ajax is one of the best academies in the world, and they have a philosophy. Barcelona have literally copied their philosophy.
Yeah.
That's what they based it off.
Yeah.
So when Johan Cruyff went over to Barcelona and said, "This is how you play football, lads." Ten Hag has grew up around that, and that's what he plays with. And you look at this Ajax team now, how exciting they were in that Champions League that we was talking about, how exciting they are now. If he goes there with that type of strategy in Man United, with Rangnick as the director, Man United will become a scary team. Very
There is
scary.
that argument that let's say Ralph Rangnick does amazing in the next 6 months for Manchester United because they're still in the Champions League. They are
FA Cup.
FA Cup.
Yeah.
They're not in the Carabao Cup, but the FA Cup. Let's say that they get top 4, hypothetically. Let's say that United win the Champions League or get it's a big if, but I'm just saying, let's set the scene. Let's say that United finish in the top 4, they win an FA Cup and they get to the semi-final of the Champions League, and he's had a great season in turning it around. Why would you not offer Rangnick the job to stay on as manager and just push your consultancy thing back?
Because you need the consultancy.
Yeah, I think
It's
the
absolutely
consultancy thing's the
integral.
most important. For how United have been the last few years, they need guys in those positions
Yeah.
who know what they're doing, and I think it's more important from the top to the bottom. Their owners are a joke anyway. We all know this.
Also, Ten Hag, mate, it might be a chance
But
that
it
he's
might
gone
be-
somewhere
yeah.
else. They need to seize the opportunity while they've got it. If they sour the relationship with Rangnick after he has a good period and then he turns into Ole, like, you don't want that to happen. You want him to have a nice period where he's seen what he's seen and he goes into a director role where he's comfortable and he's been proven, and then you get a manager in.
But if the squad are happy and he's doing well for Manchester United, why change something?
Because
when
he's
it's
still
not?
going to be there. He's not
Yeah,
going
he'll still-
anywhere. He's still
okay,
got a massive
yeah.
say in what the team's doing
Yeah.
and how they're developing.
He might not be the manager, but you know, as a director, he's going to be there at training every day. He's going to have a lot of input. He's going to.
But what manager? What top class manager is happy to have another manager manage you?
Ten Hag.
Ten Hag, I think.
Yeah, he's used to it. There's a hierarchical thing in these clubs, and Ajax will be the same. They give trust to the manager, but you also listen to the wisdom of you know, players and managers that have done it before. That's the whole point. That's what you get your knowledge from. And so I genuinely think Ten Hag for me is perfect. He'll gel well with Ragnar. He really will.
Okay, I'm interested because I see so many people have different opinions on who wants to go to, or who they think will go to United. So you're backing Ten Hag?
It's not that I want to see him there, but I think that he would be the best fit for him.
Yeah, he's the best.
I think it's the best fit out of all the names that are linked at the moment.
Zidane and that.
Not feeling Zidane.
Doesn't feel right.
I don't think he'd ever come over here to manage. I think like it's like Bielsa doesn't speak English, for example.
Yeah.
But Zidane's at a point where I think he'll probably want to manage in France at some point. I think he wants the France job.
Yeah.
Juventus.
That's what he wants.
I'd say about Juventus as well. Not now.
Not now.
I think he wants to go to Juventus at some
Zidane?
point. Yeah.
Yeah,
he played there as well.
There for years.
I agree with you there. He's been quite vocal about the France job. I think he's wanting to kind of hold out and see what happens at the World Cup this time
100%.
next year.
He'll have to wait a while though. It's like
another year.
Another year out of a job.
If you can, well, I'm sure he can afford to do it. But he said whether or not he wants to be, you know, out of a job for
I think he's
year.
won so much at Real Madrid already, and it was his first job.
He's cool, like, and he's one of the coolest human beings
he's
ever.
boss when he's on the touchline.
Doesn't even say anything, lad. I don't think I've ever heard him say a word ever. He just looks at you and you go.
He just answers. Right, okay, we have kicked back off for the second half. As it stands, the 8 teams that will be dropping into the Europa League, 8 teams, will be RB Leipzig, despite their win against Manchester City. It'll be RB Leipzig, AC Milan, Dortmund, Sheriff, Benfica, Atalanta, Seville, and Zenit from tonight's teams.
RB Leipzig, right? I feel so bad for them. They've been bossed the whole Champions League. Yeah, you've watched them, and they've come so close in so many games, but just not got over the line. Yeah, and then they've won on their bow outs from the Champions League.
I know, but do you know what? Leipzig had quite a lot of changes. You know, obviously they lost Nagelsmann. They lost Upamecano. They tend to do that thing, Leipzig, where and a lot of German teams tend to do it, like between the top 3, like Bayern, Dortmund, Leipzig. They tend to like all just sell their best players to each other and like change their managers to each other and things like that, which I find weird because you would never see that in the Premier League.
No Manchester United players come to Liverpool. Liverpool's not selling no players to Manchester United. Never happened. I would never want to see it.
It's just odd. I don't know why. With Serie A, who did you mention before went to
Inter and AC?
Calhanoglu went from Milan to Inter. That was the first time a transfer like that between the two teams has happened.
What about Zlatan?
So he was at Barca for a year, and then he went to Milan. But straight away, that's the first time I can remember for a while. But a lot of players have played for both clubs. Yeah, Brazilian Ronaldo. Seedorf was another one.
Pirlo was that?
Pirlo played for Inter,
Juventus,
Milan and Juve. Bonucci's done that as well.
Is there not a thing in Milan, like, or in Italy in general, in Syria, that there's like kind of you're not really supposed to do that? You know, we see like, you know, Spurs fans absolutely hate Sol Campbell, always hate Sol Campbell for what he's done. You know, we just said you'd never see a Liverpool and United player cross over and play for each other. Is it not as tribal in that sense?
It is. It just depends on the player. Like, if the player's shit, fans don't really tend to care.
Yeah.
But if it's someone who's like very good and it's quite a controversial transfer, then like Bonucci, a lot of Juventus fans still hate that guy.
Really?
Like, they have not forgiven him for going to Milan, and then he went back to Juve. As well. So I think it just depends on how big the name is. Like, there's a massive rivalry between Fiorentina and Juventus. So when that all started when Baggio went there years ago. So obviously Chiesa's there now, and they hate Juventus. They hate him. I know Bernardeschi's not really, the heights haven't gone where he should have, but when he moved, he was a hot prospect, and he got the treatment there. So it just depends on the rivalry mainly, and how good the player is.
Okay, it's interesting, really interesting. We're running a poll. Which team is most likely to sign Erling Haaland? Manchester United, Liverpool, Real Madrid, or Manchester City? I want to hear all of your final answers. Alex, final answer. Who do you reckon signing Haaland?
Man City.
Chris?
I'm going to go with City.
United.
Okay, I'm going to back City for that as well. I'm going to put my vote in here because I've got the iPad. 'Cause I've got the iPad. We are still underway in this game. Only first few minutes. Have Milan showed you anything in the last few minutes?
Errors.
Yeah.
Mistakes everywhere.
Not a lot of
Passes
confidence.
everywhere. Just
Where's young Maldini, mate? I want to.
Yeah,
I've not seen him
waiting.
yet.
You know,
I'm
the
waiting to
rate
see
the
him.
game's going, he probably will come on. I remember he came on at Anfield for
Yeah.
the last few minutes, but you know, I've got no, like, I'm trying to think who's on the, like, Florenzi's on the bench, Maldini, like,
man, this is just
Salamakers. There's not many names that scream
Goals.
confidence or yeah.
It's sly. It is sly to see it. I always say this with the big teams. It's sad when you see like the drop in quality in their squads because you've had some of the
nice.
best players that have ever lived. Ronaldinho, Seedorf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
many
there's just been some
names.
incredible players that have come out of Syria. Who's your favourite player of all time?
For AC Milan.
From from in Syria.
Ibrahimovic. It's
Ibrahimovic.
always been.
Really?
I've apart from Inter, Juventus, Malmo, and Ajax, I've got every shirt of Ibrahimovic from every club he's got. I've even got Ibra on my back now. So.
Oh yeah.
For just Serie A,
Yeah.
I'll have to go Maldini.
Maldini
Yeah,
for you?
definitely.
Okay. Do you have a favourite Syria player?
I have loads of them, but one that stood out for me was two of them actually, Del Piero and Totti. I
yeah,
love them
Piero.
two so much. Like watching them play football was a joy, and the goals that they scored were like ridiculous. Totti was insane, lad.
That's
a 10, maybe, is it?
I don't know. It seems to go down easy.
Look,
Look, I mean, if it
doesn't
is,
look like they're giving it.
the thing now is if
If
you
it is,
don't get a
VAR will
decision
say
that goes your way as a fan, you don't get as annoyed anymore because you know that they've got someone in the
VAR.
ear who's going to
What's that
say
referee's? What's that referee's
Just
name?
have another look at that one to see if that was a pen. Do you?
something. I can't see it
from-
can't see it from that
angle.
angle or
All
that,
that
or that
angle.
angle.
I mean, he does run
This
into him.
cameraman's having a shocker.
Oh,
It's
no,
gone
it's
for
not. No.
Not a pen
Nah,
for
that's
me.
what I mean.
That's Kessie, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
looking for the.
Right,
He's
it's-
looking for the pen.
Oh.
He's crumbled.
It's a contact sport.
And Tomori is
Kessie's
that-
a
They're trying to make it non-contact, and
Oh,
Liverpool
oh.
broke.
Hey!
Oh,
Whoa.
shot for Origi just a little bit.
That was crossed. That was definitely crossed.
I
That.
think that
Crossed
was a shot.
that, innit,
I
yeah?
think that was a shot. If you want to give that as a cross, okay. Who am I to judge? Yeah, so who did you say, sorry, that your favourite was?
Totti and Del Piero. I used to love watching Totti, and also the fact that he played for one club. I've got a little thing about that because of Gerrard and Liverpool, and yeah, playing for one club. So I'll say Totti, and I'll say Totti. And he went forever.
Are your owners the same as Arsenal owners?
No.
Someone has put in the chat, could you ask them about Gazidis and if they like him at Milan?
Oh no, yeah, we got Gazidis is he's been
Gazidis
amazing.
is our CEO.
CEO,
Yeah.
right, okay, because they're asking, he's still hated by Arsenal fans, and what do you make of him?
I think he's
He's
loved
done,
for most
like,
of us.
Yeah, he's done. I didn't really want him when we got him because obviously I saw what he did to Arsenal from like a sporting point of view. Commercial wise, brilliant. But
Yeah.
I think at Milan he's got more of a say on the commercial side. Like he's done a lot for sponsorships and stuff. So like I think he's done a really good job at Milan. He seems to not get as involved in the sporting side.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
learned
He
his
was at
lesson.
Arsenal.
Maybe he's learned his lesson
So,
there. Or if
you
he
know,
said to him when you come, none of that, lads.
But he's really turned around the fortunes of the club. So yeah, like, I do like him.
Yeah, couldn't be happier then. It's amazing, the two parallels. The two parallels of that. It's still very open in this game, but as we said earlier, it's not really anything you can do to affect it, really, can you?
No, it's just because even if we get a second or a third, if Porto win, we're out.
Is it still 0-0 in their game? I think it is,
still
yeah.
0-0. Just to run through those scores.
I'm not surprised by that game, but that game will probably end in a draw. It's,
Atletico love 0-0s, mate. That's what they love.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Ajax is 2-1 against Sporting. Dortmund are 3-0 up with Besiktas. Porto 0, Atletico Madrid 0, Real Madrid 1, Inter 0.
Is it, lads?
What
Oh,
are
I
you
should have
doing?
hit that first. Oh no, maybe not.
And Shakhtar
Come on,
1,
Liman.
Sheffield Sheriff 0. Chance for Mo Salah not really going anywhere. I think, Liverpool just kind of just...
Cruise control,
Just
aren't we, right now?
cruising.
yeah.
Like I said,
That's
without
it,
being
isn't it?
disrespectful, this was a training game for Liverpool in a way, just because we put the kids out and stuff. And what a training ground it is, like I said, San Siro.
Well, it is an
And
incredible...
we're just making errors after error now.
It is an
Yeah,
incredible...
that
Never.
was similar that way.
It's the
innit?
same one.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It's definitely one of my favourite stadiums I've
Oh,
ever been
and
to.
that was a foul.
Errors
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's just an amazing stadium.
Everywhere.
I went there for, God, how long ago was that when we beat you
Oh, that
1-0?
was 10 years ago,
10
I think. Yeah.
Over 10, I think it was 2010, wasn't
Oh,
it? So
Nico
over
Williams
10
then.
years. He what?
He got Oh, dude. Poor Nico Williams is only a young lad. And that's not a foul. It's
But he
nowhere
got
near a foul.
clattered.
It's just it's a man versus a young lad.
Atletico Madrid have scored, and they are 1-0 up against Porto.
You want that though, don't you? So wait, if you win 2-1 and they win 1-0 now, you go through,
Yeah,
don't
we
you?
go through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll go
Griezmann
through.
with the goal. So now the tides have changed. We're happier. We're more hopeful.
Unless
Oh
this
no,
goes
with
in.
this,
Not with this game.
this game's not going.
It only takes 1 second. It only takes 1 minute to change game.
This game ain't going very well.
Oh, no, it was
This
a minute.
game ain't going very
Someone needs to
well.
tell Milan what's going on.
What was he
Oh my
doing?
God, your
That
keeper.
was not a foul, lads.
That was
Yeah, but
outrageous.
little touch on the goalkeeper.
yeah.
The
That's
rule
what
is
I'm
always
saying.
it's a
Yeah.
foul.
Is that where he did it?
Always.
I think he touched the
They
player.
did. I just want to watch that again.
Look at
please.
this.
That's ridiculous.
That's literally the.
If you're a
If you get
goalkeeper
touched,
now,
Just
yeah.
run into
just
somebody
run
and
into
not get a
someone
foul,
and you'll get the
yeah.
foul.
That
Yeah.
is
absurd.
absolutely insane.
It was
ridiculous.
like,
What are they
there was
doing?
one in the Serie A a few months ago where the Napoli goalkeeper.
Oh, my man,
That's Kalulu as well.
Oh,
Why are you parrying? Are you an idiot? Why are you parrying that out straight to him?
He couldn't
and
catch
it
that.
doesn't matter what's happened with Atletico.
good header, that
because
one.
Milan have conceded again.
That was Tomori's
I can't
fault.
believe that.
Was it Tomori? That was
It
Tomori's
was,
fault
but
anyway.
it's a terrible
There's nothing to do with
Yeah,
the
also
goalkeeper.
terrible defending actually to start off.
But you
with.
can't.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't
Errors
push that
everywhere.
out straight
Errors
to him.
literally
That's the
everywhere.
second error.
I feel like the keeper's been unlucky with this one. He done
This is
poorly
just
on it.
poor. Like,
Yeah, that's poor defending that.
Really
But
poor.
that's poor goalkeeping.
Where's
Really
he
poor
supposed?
defending,
I don't
but
know.
really-
What's he supposed to do there? To be honest, it's a hard shot. Like where's
Yeah.
he parrying that?
Yeah.
Not straight to him.
That's a great finish from Origi, by
Yeah,
the
it's
way,
a good
lads.
header.
Wow. He knew exactly
It
where
is
the
a
keeper
good
was
finish.
there.
I'll tell you what,
great finish.
Origi's always
Pops
been
up
one who
at
like
the
pops
right
up in
time.
the big
The
games.
best
sort of
clutch,
thing.
best clutch player you've ever seen in
Yeah.
your life. I'm not joking. He had me partying on Sunday, on Saturday, screaming my head off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
me and Gilly were together watching the game, and I was sat there like, oh, we're going to draw. Chelsea have lost. We always do this. And then Gilly went to me, hey, Origi's coming on, you know. And I was like, is he? Yeah. And then he done that on the last kick of the game.
It's amazing because Origi will never obviously get the plaudits that he should do.
He does for Liverpool fans, believe me.
Nah, we're not going to do
it's
anything
insane
now.
because
We'll probably
think
lose
about all
3-4-1
the
now.
massive moments, the game-changing moments. He won, he got the
He's
goal.
done it against
Champions League.
Newcastle, Dortmund, Wolves the other day, Champions League goals. Like, he is the best clutch player I've ever seen. And do you know what? Ain't nothing wrong with playing that role on a team like this right now. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I think he's very happy to play that role in the team.
And this
isn't
is
he?
why I've got no disrespect to like fans are saying, well, why does he want to play first team football all the time? And because he's so effective as a clutch player, why would you want him? He's winning stuff. He's won a Premier League. He's won a Champions League,
and also scored.
yeah, he's an integral part of it. He's not
yeah.
just there to watch. We need you sometimes, lad, and when we need you, you perform, and that's important. He got a goal against Wolves where we had Mane, Salah, Jota. Did you see Jota's miss?
Yes.
On his birthday, that, by the way, guys, as well. Poor lads on his birthday. But yeah, Jota
I love
come in.
Jota, man.
This is brilliant.
Again, another error from the
Any
defence.
danger of him
Theo
tracking
again.
back as well?
Do you know what though? This is what Liverpool do, you know, lads. We're really good at pressing teams high up.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. I love that style of football. It's exciting to watch. It's high energy. There's quite a good thing to watch about it. I love it.
It is now 3-1 to Ajax against Sporting Lisbon as
Ajax.
well. We've got a super chat from Joe's Film who said Steven Gerrard is not a one-club player.
I mean, yeah, he played for LA Galaxy. Come
For
on.
one season.
Yeah, I
so,
mean, come on. You can't really. If you go to
Yeah.
he went to LA Galaxy, who were in America. Liverpool never going to play LA
I
Galaxy.
literally had erased that from my mind.
It's like you're going to play Sunday League at the end of your career. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's
That's
still a
like
one-club player.
Del Piero played for 4 clubs,
Oh,
but
what
you only
tough.
think of him as a Juve
Juventus
player.
yeah. You can't. I can't take that away from Gerrard. He was a one-club player,
I
except for
think
LA
that
Galaxy.
is very harsh.
Yeah, it is.
You're off by about a
He
mile.
was bossing the MLS as well, you know. Actually, I literally had LA Galaxy were my team in America when he moved there. I was like
on your
up in the
runs,
night
man.
watching him and that. He's a good little player.
Who, Steven Gerrard?
Yeah, when he was
Yeah,
playing
it's
football.
just a
Even on
little bit.
FIFA, I play him on FIFA. I go like I get one of my mates to play one of the other teams, like in New York, City or whatever it was called, with Pirlo. You just have like classic old players against each other. But loads of players went there, didn't they? Schweinsteiger, Pirlo.
Yeah.
Lampard.
David Villa.
Yeah, there's been loads. Javinko was there for a while.
He was bossed though, weren't he? Javinko?
Yeah,
Javinko was.
he won Toronto.
Toronto,
the
yeah.
league.
He was bossed. lad.
Chicharito's there now as well.
Yeah,
at the Galaxy.
yeah.
the people are moving over there. People are moving
when they
over.
get old, that's what I don't mind.
Nice
that.
life.
Well, I think you have to weigh it up, don't you? You could either go and have your payday in China, and play in the Chinese league,
Don't think they can do that.
players have done. We saw Oscar, who was obviously at Chelsea, moved to
Mad,
China at
yeah.
like what 20. How old was Oscar? Was he
Young,
like 20,
he was
20
mid-20s, I think,
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he moved as
27
well.
maybe?
He just went, let me get that money in. I just need the money.
And it made that move. I think Fellaini still plays in China, doesn't he? Moved
Who's
Dembele,
that
moved to
Southampton striker?
Pele.
China. Oh, Pele.
Yeah.
Pele.
A lot of them are left now because they put a rule in,
They had to wage cap it, didn't they?
wage cap it. So Hulk went to Brazil when he won the title. I think like
Him
a
and
couple days
Diego
ago.
Costa, yeah.
Diego Costa's
Wow.
there.
My
Diego
God.
Costa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Atletico Mineiro, they won their first title in 50 years as Hulk and Diego Costa up top.
That's
together.
I'll
fantastic.
tell you what,
that,
you
like.
wouldn't want to face them two, would
I
you?
love seeing that though. I love seeing it.
No.
I need to see clips of them. I need
Matthew-
to look at them playing together.
Maxi Rodriguez just retired today, actually. You haven't said
Did he?
that. We're talking about some South American teams, yeah. Played for Newell Boys. I think that's Messi's
Yes,
club.
that's Messi's boyhood club, yeah.
He retired today, lad. He used to play for Liverpool.
Yeah.
Used to love
Yeah.
Maxi Rodriguez, lad.
Do you remember that goal he scored in the World Cup in 2006, that
Yeah.
volley?
It was insane,
one
lad,
of
for
the-
Argentina.
It was one goal of the tournament. It's one of the best I've ever seen.
Insane, lad. I think that's why Liverpool bought him.
Yeah, probably.
See him now.
Just a quick one about Origi.
attempts.
Someone called Danny Morris has put in the chat, what would you value Origi at?
Oh, that's heavy, innit? I'd say a good 50 mil, good 60 mil.
Really?
Yeah, because he's got quality to him. And like I said, he scores the goals in the important, moments.
Oh, man.
And that's a big thing.
Never
You get
time they
these
run.
players now, they've got bags of potential, but when it comes to experience, they just don't quite have it. You can say he scored the Champions League final goal, he's played in many Champions League games, he knows how to deal with that pressure. I reckon he's a quality young player. Jurgen Klopp, right, wouldn't rave about him if he was crap.
Yeah.
He wouldn't.
I mean, 50, 60 million is a high price tag to put on that. Do you
It's
think that
nowadays, football's mad, isn't it?
do you think that he'd want to go? How old is Divock Origi?
I think he's 26, 25.
He's only 26.
Yeah.
Feels
I
like he's been
literally-
around
I feel like
forever,
he's
yeah.
literally been
Genuinely.
around for so long. Chance for Milan,
We've
can
got
they
to
do
shout
that.
anything
He's got
with
it.
it?
Oh,
Can they get themselves back into the game? No.
Well, at least he had a shot.
Yeah, you had a shot.
Hey.
You had a
I
shot.
just looked at the attempts there. You're not even playing. It's like training. You're on 17 attempts.
Yeah, this is our
to our
fourth one.
three.
You've had
and
three,
we're the
yeah.
ones that need to win
Need
this
it.
game.
This, honestly, right, the Liverpool team in the last 5 years have gone through a massive transformation, and the way that these lads are coached is incredible. I'm not joking. They've went to a new training ground, a new facility, which is fucking state-of-the-art, fantastic training facility. And then they've got someone like Jurgen Klopp with all this team around them. They know how to play football, these guys, honestly. Like, the team's changed so much since Brendan Rodgers. It's unrecognisable, and it's one of the best teams in the world at the
Yeah, and
moment.
Klopp's done a proper job there.
Serious job. Like, it's one of the best reforms of a team I've seen in a long time, without spending every single season. We have spent big money, but we've also made big money.
Yeah.
So we've spent 75 mil on Alisson and 75 mil on Virgil,
But
but we
made
also sold Coutinho for 150.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
then
I
again,
mean?
make your
I
money
think
back like that.
the other big money buys, I think Fabinho was maybe
Don't put him on his
40
left.
mil. He was 50 mil.
yeah, and I think Alisson.
75, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
But a
not
lot of
much-
these were in the same window as well.
Yeah,
and then
they were.
since,
Yeah, over the
since
course of
then,
like two
yeah.
windows or so.
We
wasn't it?
basically hit this pinnacle of attacking football where we had Mo Salah and Mane and Bobby scoring bags of goals, but we needed that final piece in defence to be a title contender. And when we got Alisson and Virgil in, they changed the squad entirely because we were starting to build from the back, as well as having this exciting, chaotic
yeah,
attacking
because it was
football.
always with Liverpool a few years ago. It was like they're amazing going forward. You know, you get goals, but you just knew at the back that you'd always
scored
have a
100
chance
goals,
against them.
concede
Yeah.
50. That's what it was like with Liverpool.
Yeah. We have a super chat here from Akash. He said, I don't think Milan are able to deal with Liverpool's press. I don't
No.
think any team press like this in Serie A. Difference
No,
in
they
quality
don't.
is
No, they
quite
don't.
obvious.
Spot on.
And it is quite obvious. I
Yeah,
think
it's
that-
spot on.
Yeah, no team presses like this in Italy.
The football in Serie A to the Premier League is completely different.
This is
the way,
intense, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. You can slowly go up the field in Serie A. Well, here you'll see it. You see it against Chelsea versus Juventus last week.
That actually leads me on to what I was going to say next. Do you think that, the English teams have been really dominant in Europe over the last, kind of like 4 or 5 seasons?
Yeah.
Do you think that's because how intense every game in the Premier League is? Like, we kind of talk about how, the league's developed and grown. It's not really a top 4 anymore. Like, it's became
top
like
six
a top
sort of
6,
thing,
then
yeah.
it's become like a top 8. And then, like, it's so competitive. Even when you look at it now, like, 4th spot, West Ham are having an unbelievable season.
Yeah.
But you look just below them in 5th, Spurs have had an awful season and are only 2 points behind. Below that is Arsenal, who again started really poorly. So is it the fact that everyone is so competitive and there's such a big gap between the top 3, like a Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City, United will be up there in time. But obviously because of what's gone on with them, not so much. But
Did I see that right?
do you think that is probably the case of how far ahead the Premier League is in terms of being intense? And
I think the intensity definitely helps, but I just think the league has got the best players. It's got the best
It's got the
teams.
most money, lads. We've got
it's got the most
league's
money.
got the most money. It's got to attract the best players.
So
and that's the best quality of
it's
football.
going to have the best quality. It shows in Europe in the last few years that, obviously there was that year where it was the Bayern PSG final, but the Premier League teams mainly are always there or thereabouts, and I think Liverpool, City, Chelsea, 3 of the best 5 teams in Europe as well. So it says a lot about the quality of the league.
the year of that final wasn't the COVID year.
Yeah.
That was the year of COVID. Yeah.
Which
so.
is always a bit.
I mean, the league's,
up an
the league's
sort
4
of
or
thing.
5 years ahead from every other league. And just speaking on Serie A alone, obviously I don't know how it is, how the FAs and stuff are in Spain and Germany, but that's in Italy. It's just so backwards. Everything's outdated. It's not modernised. And it doesn't look like it will be. It's
not anytime
it's a
soon
shambles.
anyway.
Yet your national side play unbelievable football.
Well,
And now has to get the job done as well.
Well,
Well, not currently. All right, not currently, but we only need to go back 5 months and to see how good your side is. Barella has been sent off for Inter Milan. Just to let you guys know.
Some joy in this.
Current scores: Ajax are 4-1 up against Sporting Lisbon. Dortmund are 3-0 up against Besiktas. Porto are losing 1-0 at home to Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid are 1-0 up against Inter. Barella just sent off. And Shakhtar Donetsk are 1-0 up against Sheriff. Also, the results of our poll have come in. Where we said which team is more likely to sign Erling Haaland.
What ball?
What a ball!
Manchester City have topped that with 38%, Manchester United 25%, Real Madrid 21%, and Liverpool just 14%.
I can't see my Liverpool, but I'd love to see him there. Absolutely love it.
Who would you give up to bring him in?
Poor. I'd have to say Bobby, wouldn't I?
Yeah, for me, no.
But
I
also
think-
I don't want to say that because I love him. One of the best players I've ever seen for Liverpool, but also it'd have to be Bobby because Mane and Salah are just too good to miss.
I think they're both irreplaceable, those two.
They are.
If you went into that City side, what's the front 3 looking like then?
Disgustingly good. Horribly good. I
They've
can't see that.
They've got such a big squad. They don't really have a front
can't have
3.
anyone.
They've got such good rotation.
Yeah, but of course, Haaland's. Where are we putting Haaland? There's been
In
a
the
red.
middle.
They're 9. They've got
Sorry,
no one there,
there's been
do
a
they?
red card.
Atletico?
Atletico. Carrasco has been sent off for Atletico.
Oh, that's all right. He'll take one of the strikes off, put someone there, and he'll play his block of 4s like this for the rest
they're
of the
close
game.
to each other and that.
Yeah, exactly.
Second yellow. I swear to God, Atletico are always having someone sent off.
Yeah, they are. They love it, don't they? It's the way they play football.
Yeah.
It's like their style.
It literally is.
They play exactly how
what is
he
Alisson
played
doing there?
as a manager.
Really?
Still got the
It's
ball.
exactly the same.
That's what you do. You take your own philosophy of football. I think that's why Gerrard's going to be successful as a manager, to be quite honest with you, because he's used to being the lone man. He's used to being the man with the plan. He's used to having to think, how am I going to do this? He's used to it. And that's why he's going to fit well as a manager.
No, he
'cause
did a good job at
revel in.
Rangers.
And he's done a really good job so far.
Yeah.
Some players
Villa.
love pressure.
Villa.
He's one of them.
The only
Gerrard.
thing with the Villa thing is I wait to see how he does, because a lot of teams, when a manager gets sacked, they have a good purple patch straight away.
Yeah.
Agreed. New manager bouncing
It'll
in.
be interesting to see how he does going forward.
Well, he's definitely got them playing well, and they've actually deserved to take something from that City game.
Yeah, they did.
They played well that
They
game.
played really
Yeah.
well. Constance should have equalised, and to make it 2-2 last week. So
It's going to be a spicy one for Liverpool on the weekend.
yeah,
Big game this.
really, really
I
big
feel
game.
like Gerrard's got no qualms about coming and battering as if he needs to.
At the end of the day, it's about winning, isn't it? It's not about being nostalgic
Yeah.
for your manager.
He's like, I want to come there and win, lads.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter who you are.
And also, ultimately,
He'll get a great reception too.
Oh, of course,
Yeah,
of course he
Steven
will.
Gerrard.
He'll get the best
The
reception.
best man in the world in my opinion. Like, I love that man.
No, of course. And the thing is, as well, like every game, in a sense, not that he'll consider it this way, is also an audition for that Liverpool job when Klopp decides to move on.
I think that's
So
the
it's
plan.
it's in his best interest, isn't it, for him to, excel at Villa in general. But I think that Liverpool fans want to see him do well at Villa, if I'm right, because that's who you'd like to see come in after Klopp goes.
Yeah, it is really. Like, I don't want to see it on the weekend. Like, definitely not on the weekend, Gerrard. Take a day off on the weekend, please, mate. Everyone wants to see him doing well. You see me on the shows, when we're doing the shows and he scores a goal for the Villa, I'm cheering for him because I want to see him. He's our lad.
Yeah.
He's our icon, you know what I mean? So yeah, we want to see him do well, and he will. I've got every confidence in him as a human being and as a professional. He is fantastic.
Playing quite well.
Oh my god, yeah, and who the
Oh!
and who was it? Krunic. Fucking useless.
Milan
as
just
always.
started to wake up.
That was bossed out, innit?
68 minutes in.
Matt Phillips looked like Messi or something for a little second.
68 minutes in, Milan realised that they actually have to try and score another goal in this game. It's now 4-0 to Dortmund against Besiktas. Haaland came off the bench and scored within 5 minutes.
He's insane.
He's just a machine.
He is. No, but I think he is. No, we were talking about aliens.
Like in a lab.
We were talking about aliens, weren't we?
Yeah.
He's probably one of them.
Do you reckon? Because
He's insane.
People say
Even
he's
how
like
he
been
speaks
built
as well.
in a
He's just
lab.
He just looks like a robot.
He's made.
and how he runs as well.
Yeah, he's just made out of raw electricity, lad. That's what he's made. Oh, is that a goal again? Oh,
Did
no.
anyone ever see his dad play?
No.
No,
We've all seen the clip.
I
of
remember
course.
of his dad is that Roy Keane
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
We've all seen that clip.
Yeah, obviously.
And that might be another reason why he goes to City. That actually saying that.
For me, that's what a pulling factor. 'Cause surely you'd want to
Don't go to City, Haaland. Please, lads. Can't be bothered with that.
He was born in Leeds, Haaland, because that's where his dad was playing at the
Go
time.
to Leeds. Haaland, go to
Go to
Leeds,
Leeds.
lads.
Wow, imagine that. Imagine if
love
he was
that.
like, you know what, I'm actually secretly a Leeds fan and I want to come play for Leeds.
Yeah.
But
Imagine that.
you'd have to bankrupt your club in order to probably do it.
Yeah.
Let's actually speak about that because you mentioned before that you are, your dad was from Leeds, right? So you support Leeds. Which is a really interesting mix when you've got Leeds and AC Milan, two very iconic clubs, historical clubs. What have you made so far of your season? Because it's not looking too good.
Last season was just phenomenal. Like first season back in the Premier League, finishing top half with a lot of players who just been coached by Bielsa from the Championship to being that good was unbelievable. But this season, there's been quite a few injuries. We've had Bamford missing for most of the season as well. It's not really been good enough. But we've got a difficult run coming up. Chelsea, City, Arsenal and Liverpool back-to-back in the next 4 games. So
tough Christmas.
Yeah, it's quite lucky that the teams in the bottom 3 have been so bad this season.
They really have.
They've just, like Newcastle just winning a game now. Norwich were just, they're up and down, and Burnley just, they always seem to do this. Everyone's like, oh, this will be the year they go down. They're definitely going down, and then they always survive.
Sean Dyche, lads, he's a quality manager.
Because he had them Europa a few seasons ago, didn't he? I know they went out in the
they had
playoff,
one like rogue season.
Yeah, to get
also,
there.
The fact that he's not bought anyone for seasons, he's just bought someone and he's incredible, Corney. It goes to show Sean Dyche is a fantastic manager. I don't think he'd be fantastic anywhere else.
Right, Porto have also had a red card, so it's now 10 versus 10 in the Porto versus Atletico game.
That's hilarious.
You guys really need to score a goal.
We scored 2 goals.
It's now 5 red cards tonight in the Champions League tonight.
Boss.
So that's just showing that clearly people don't really care for discipline.
No, well, do you know what? Everyone wants to get through, don't they, right now? Or they've already been kicked out, so they're just like, do you know what? That's just the way it is.
I want to see that game. We're watching the wrong game, clearly. It's all kicking off over there.
That didn't look good for
so back to Leeds. You had an amazing season. You were like the Premier League darlings, and I think that you're right in the fact that no Bamford has probably cost you quite a bit.
He came back and scored at the weekend.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
And it shows you the difference. It shows you the difference. Having that talisman up front can make.
Yeah.
But the fact that you didn't do any business. Well, you did do some business in the summer. You brought in the fullback Firpo, didn't you?
Yeah, he's been. It's not a bit. Last couple games he's been good, but other than that, I couldn't believe. He was from Barca. I was like, what?
Yeah. Have you seen Emerson Royale, by the way?
Yeah, he's quite. I thought he was like.
He is.
What is that?
Same with Semedo, lads. Semedo for Wolves.
Yeah. It's just their business in the last 5 years have been awful.
The way I look at it, and anytime there's a player that's coming up, but not so much at Madrid because I think Reguilon's a good player, and maybe Emerson will become a good player.
Reguilon is a good player.
Maybe Emerson Royale will become a good player. Maybe it's too harsh for me. But usually, if Barcelona are trying to sell someone, or Madrid, it's probably because it's not a good thing. No. So that's why Spurs always seems to get wrapped into that one.
Although we signed Teo Hernandez from Madrid. And
he's good.
He's been amazing for us, but he was basically a write-off from a lot of fans before then. A lot of people, he had a loan, I think he was at Sociedad.
Yeah.
And a lot of people saying he was one of the worst left-backs in the league. And he's come to Milan and had a new lease of life, sort of thing.
Different league, different level, I guess.
Yeah.
It's always like that. He got one of them. He got voted in the worst team in Serie A when he went to Lille. And then he comes to us.
Is that where he came from, Lille?
We loaned him out for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then he come back and he was insane for us. It's just the way it works sometimes.
You brought in Dan James, which I have to say, someone's just reminded me you brought in Dan James. Was that
Bielsa loves him.
Was that a good signing for you? Apart from me
He's
throwing
right,
my pad.
Abby. He's right, Abby.
So I remember years ago in the Championship, it was a done deal. Like
Oh,
he
yeah, I
had his
remember
medical and everything, and like was waiting to sign a contract, and Swansea couldn't get a replacement in, so he went back there.
Right.
So Bielsa's a big fan of his. So it is a Bielsa signing, but the money you pay for him is absurd.
How much did you pay for Dan
I think it's
James?
40 million.
Wow.
14 mil for Dan
On
James.
Dan James.
Do you know what though? He's young, isn't he? At least he's really
I know
young.
he's young, and like obviously he's coming from another Premier League team, so that's gonna put
And he done all right.
A little bit.
price, but still 40 million.
40 million for Dan James is a lot.
It's
I
a
feel
lot of
like
money.
He's
he's
him.
just pace and that's it.
And I think it was Bielsa who really wanted him, so they
Yeah.
thought, you know, okay, but there's no depth like in the league squad. Like a few weeks ago against Spurs, all of the bench was under 23s, besides one or two players. And
Yeah.
you can't get through a Premier League season with that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point.
Yeah.
And what about Bielsa? Because he signed, how long is his contract? Is it year by year?
He always does
it?
year by year.
Okay.
So this is, so I got a feeling it might be his last season.
You think it might be?
I think it
Do
might
you think
be.
that'll be a mutual thing, or do you think that because, you know, at the end of the day, he's been such a successful manager, and what he's done for Leeds has been incredible.
Look, I think
But there's a lot of restrictions at Leeds.
if there's a relegation, I think that might be the only time they get rid, because he's a god
Yeah.
in Leeds. Like there's streets named after him and everything. What he's done for the club,
Yeah.
because the years before in the Championship were just awful, and what he's done to like players like Calvin Phillips, who's now playing for England, like one of the best players in the Euros. He used to be a number 10. He was horrendous. Like and then Bielsa's brought him back as a holding midfielder, and he's like, a different player.
Yeah.
I think, look, as long as Leeds are in the Premier League and as long as Bielsa wants to stay, he's always going to be there.
I think there may have been another red card for Porto. I'm just waiting to see if there's confirmation on
Is
that.
it
We are
Pepe?
definitely watching
It's
the wrong
definitely
game.
Pepe, you know.
If so, I'm thinking of changing the channel.
Pepe's definitely being sent off.
I'm
Alright,
just
we're
going
not
to
doing
have
anything
just
anyway.
going to have a confirmation on that, and we'll confirm in a sec. We have a super chat here from Mo Mokhtar, who said, "Do you think City will win the Premier League and Champions League this year?"
No.
No.
Doyle,
Nah.
tell
No.
me your opinion as to why.
City are not going to win the Champions League. They're just not. You can't, like what I said about Liverpool earlier, having that like mentality and that grit. You can't synthesise and make that stuff up. You can't buy it. You just can't. That's why Man United are able to do it as well for a long period of time, because they didn't have it. They had the class of '92, and they really wanted to play for the club, and they had that heart and spirit of the City in the club. City don't seem to. They've got Foden now, which is great, and maybe in a few years' time. But until then, I just don't think they can do it. It's like the PSG thing. When you've got too much money, there's too much pressure on you to do it, and all of these games that they just randomly lose. The flat merchants in the Champions League, they really are. Like, they're a fantastic team. They're one of the best teams in world football. But when it comes to these Champions League games, they just flap it. They lost against Chelsea, and no disrespect to Chelsea because they're fantastic as well. But that was their chance. That was their proper chance.
Yeah, that was their best
They played
chance.
Chelsea week in, week out. They know what team it is. They've beat them many, many times. And then they finally get it in the Champions League final, and they can't do it. Like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, but I would say, and I would argue, I think sometimes playing a team like a Premier League team is sometimes harder in a Champions League final.
I mean, look at Liverpool and Tottenham.
Yeah, okay, but don't go by what happened.
And what I mean by this is, right, we had this discussion the other week, do you remember?
Yeah.
We were talking about you don't go into a final to play footy.
No,
That's not what you
except
do.
but I would say that you had the advantage in the sense that you'd been there just 1 year before.
Oh,
also
definitely.
the fact that we gave you a penalty, which wasn't
Definitely,
a penalty, in my
definitely.
opinion. But also, you know, but I think that's the thing. You'd been there before.
Yeah.
You know how to win a Champions League
I
final.
agree.
You know, Chelsea has been there before. Chelsea know how to win a Champions League final.
Not with this team, no.
Not with that team.
Pep has, though. Pep's been there,
You're
and he's
correct.
won it before.
But do you think that the reason that City haven't won it is actually because of Pep, because of these
Yeah.
tweaks and changes he
Yeah.
made?
Because he does
We're
these,
saying
he doesn't,
this,
he doesn't
pre-match.
settle,
Yeah.
does he?
Yeah.
He can't settle down, lad. He's always
He
like
always
making these mad
overthinks.
changes.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, overthinks, and then it doesn't work out for him. He does it consistently.
Yeah.
One of us mentioned before when we were talking about it, the kind of the same thing happened. Was it at Bayern
At
Munich?
Bayern,
At
yeah.
Bayern. Why do you think Pep is so intent
They
on
hated
doing
him
that
there.
then?
I just think he's an overthinker.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is. He probably thinks, oh, there's this massive game on the line. Oh, let me try to change something. And a lot of people just do it in life, generally overthink stuff. And I just think he's one that does it with football. I think he's like, well, if I try something different, it might throw them off.
Yeah.
And they'll think this. And sometimes it's almost better the devil you know. Because Yeah, well, City on their day, there's not many teams better.
I agree with you.
Alex, you're putting your head in your hands.
It's misplaced passes everywhere. This has been an awful half.
Yeah, I mean, we're into the last
Just
13
poor.
minutes or so.
Yeah,
Trying to work my maths out on that one.
Oh, Tim McCass
Just
is
poor.
like
It's just mistakes. Like Florenzi's been in Champions League for years with Roma, and like just silly fouls, just unnecessary.
Are you disappointed by the Milan performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really disappointed.
I know we don't have the depth to
Key players
to
are
keep
missing.
to bring in at half time either, but like it's just
Sometimes
like,
if you lose, and on the balance of play, I know you've lost, but you think, you know what, they gave the all, they really went.
yeah.
like just look there.
Just didn't go for you.
Just look there. There's two of them there. They both didn't speak to each other, and then they've both left the ball, and then Smackers has got the ball.
The Reds have gone
Like,
down now, that's what it looks like as well.
We're just in the Champions League.
Oh, he's not made them.
We're just very different to what we are in Serie A.
Yeah. But I think that's because
And
of
that's
the
because the
problem.
Serie A football's
I get
completely
that,
And the
different.
level
because
of
for a lot of
quality.
these guys, yeah, you play Serie A week in, week out. You play domestic football week in, week out. Champions League is like a different ball game. A lot of these guys, it's the first time they're playing it, and I think it's a bit of a culture shock for them.
Yeah.
How
I
much
think you're
pressure
right.
is on these nights in
Yeah.
Milan?
It's different, isn't it? These have only just got back in the Champions League. It's very true. It's what Abbi was saying before about us being in the Champions League final and then doing it again. We've had experience. And that
I
really
remember that first year you were back in the Champions League. This is when you had like Balotelli and all
yeah,
of
we
them
got
players.
we didn't
Yeah,
lose to
but all
Ludogorets
them
or
lot.
something.
Yeah. I know you finished bottom of the group.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't a great Liverpool team, but sometimes, you know, that's what happens. It takes a good few years to really get back.
Definitely does. That was 100. That's why Gerrard beat Brendan Rodgers the other day against Leicester. He said, you didn't play me against Real Madrid for that last time, lad, so I smoked you. That's funny, that, isn't it, by the way? Hey, Gerrard's beat Brendan Rodgers at his own game on his first match against him. Isn't that boss?
Yeah.
That's boss.
He must have
Love
loved
that.
that as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure,
I
yeah.
love that. I love watching Brendan Rodgers' face like, what, lad? I've made my whole life around this and you just come and beat me first
Yeah,
time.
it's like what is it, when the grasshopper becomes a master. or
Yeah,
something like that. Dortmund, yeah. Dortmund are 5-0 up. Haaland again on the score sheet. I mean, if he didn't have that buyout clause, he'd just be adding to that transfer fee
It's just
come
an
the summer, wouldn't
animal.
he?
I just can't. Every time he plays, you know he's just going to
Yeah,
score.
he's just a
insane, man.
machine.
I
I
love
for
him.
one, can't wait to see him. Hopefully, he comes to the Premier League.
I don't want to
I'd
see him
love
at Man
it.
City. I can't be all Man United, to be quite honest with you.
I want to see a big. I know, obviously, we've had Ronaldo come back,
nice.
but like, I just want to see another iconic, like, just and
Name.
also at such a young age, like where his career could go to. I want to see that type of player. Like,
Yeah,
I
of
really
course.
do.
We all do. For football's sake, we all love it. We want to
Yeah.
watch match of the day with the best players, and we want to watch football with the best players.
Yeah,
But
that's what it's all about.
seeing him go to one of my rivals, I think Liverpool are in a moment right now where we are in our prime.
Yeah,
all them players are
absolutely.
in their prime.
I always say to you, it makes me feel sick how good Liverpool are.
Yeah.
I literally love watching Salah, Jota, Mane. I love looking at them, and I hate that I like it.
Thiago's
I hate
How do you
having
it.
a
build
really
a
good
future?
season
How
as
do you
well.
build a future? This is the hard part,
Well,
right?
it's this continuing on.
Yeah, it's,
And not letting it get stale.
yeah, and that's the point. The hard part is now, how do we build a future to a Liverpool team for after these guys are gone? Because in the prime, 2-3 years now, is
Yeah.
that what it's going to be? 2-3 years? Then they're just on the tail, they're coming towards the tail end of it. Klopp's got 2 more years. Like, what do we do after that? So we need a plan for it, and we need to bring in young players. That's why I don't mind Dave Origi staying. He's going to be someone, when
Yeah.
all these players are gone, that
He's
he'll
got the
still be there,
experience.
and he'll be like, I play with Mo and Salah and Mane and all that. You know, he knows what he's doing.
I have to say, Ibrahimovic has done absolutely nothing
Yeah,
tonight.
he's been poor.
He's had no
He's
service.
had nothing
No
to
service,
give.
but as an-
And everything they're trying to do is through balls, and at 40 years of age, you expect him to
to run onto them.
run onto them.
Just having a look at the substitutions that Liverpool made. Bakayoko's there as well. Another Chelsea youngster. Just collecting Chelsea youngsters, aren't you?
They're on to something AC Milan.
Yeah, they are. Was that a permanent deal?
No, Bakayoko's a loan.
Bakayoko's on a loan.
So he's been, I think Chelsea have loaned him out. He was at us a few years ago, then he went back to Monaco. He was at Napoli last year. He's at us again, so I think he's been loaned out like
Loads.
4
How old is
seasons
he
in a
now?
row. I think 26 or 27.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
right,
come
he's
on,
getting
like
on now,
it's-
yeah.
it's a long
He was
time.
brilliant for us a few years ago when he was first here. I remember he started off, and obviously we all saw him at Chelsea, and he was awful. He was like that,
Yeah.
and then he's our best midfielder, but he's not really got going this time.
Why not just sell him? He's 26.
I don't think anyone wants him in the nicest way possible. Like, I just think he's a bit of a gamble. You don't know what you're going to get from him, and Chelsea are going to demand a decent amount. It's quite a big risk.
Asensio scored for Real Madrid as well to make it 2-0 against Inter Milan. So there's something not awful for you tonight, if you can take me positive.
Well, they're through though. So.
Yeah, I was looking at your substitutions, Doyle, because obviously saw Naby Keita and Gomez came on for Salah and Mane. Yeah. Fabinho just came on as well, did he? Yeah. I saw him standing there.
Yeah, he is there. He's right.
That's his first touch. You see what I mean?
Tsimikas.
Literally errors everywhere.
Yeah, Fabinho came on and Divock Origi came off. No youngsters.
Go on, Ben, I say.
Coming on.
Morton is still on the pitch.
I think he started enough of them. I think he's just basically saying, right, if we've won all the games so far, why not win the last one? Why not just get the experience on now to manage the game for the rest of it and get all 6 wins?
Why not? What's the ball?
Oh,
he went for it.
He went for it. Anyway.
There you go. That was a bit of something.
There was his moment.
There was his moment. But you've been impressed with what you've seen from Morton. So I was hoping we'd see more youngsters coming on. I know obviously Nat Phillips is in the side, Tsimikas is also in there, but I was hopeful we'd see more.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, this team haven't let AC Milan do pretty much anything.
Yeah.
They really haven't.
Considering it's like probably not even second stringers, not first stringers. They've been like this Liverpool squad. I'm really impressed with them.
Yeah, it's mad that this young team, like I said, they've been coached so well that when they go into games like this,
offside.
He's not off. He's fucked it.
He's not offside.
And there you go. That's what he doesn't have any end product. So
who was that, Kessie?
If you wanted him,
I wish that was Ibrahimovic.
If you wanted him.
Well, I won't want him. I tell you what, I won't want him to score goals. Yeah, that's for sure. But to be fair, Spurs need someone in that midfield as well.
To be fair, the majority of Kessie's goals for Milan, besides like a few, have been penalties.
Really?
Right. He
scored a few like really nice goals, but he's not a prolific midfielder. Penalties though, scores most of them. But outside of that, not a prolific midfielder.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mad decision to try and dink Alisson. Like, it was not the right. It wasn't. Just put your foot through that.
Him.
Yeah.
Ajax is now 4-2 with Sporting. Sporting have pulled another goal back.
That was a good ball from Bakayoko.
Yeah, look at you now. You're playing much better now.
Yeah, he's given it. This is a dangerous
in the 85th
position.
minute. They do this. We did this against Juventus and Inter.
Playing in the last 10 minutes.
Last 10 minutes, yeah. When it's a bit too late.
Just going back to when we were talking about Manchester City and if they couldn't, win the Champions League. There has been quite a few people putting comments in. Stritovan said, "True, Pep has given me the best days of my life as a City fan with the trophies and records, but his decision is also responsible for my worst days as a City fan. And yes, I have followed this team since 2010.
In the Premier League, they have got the depth and the coaching to go as far as they want to go because they're insane. But the cup games are something else. It's not about how much depth you've got.
They do right in domestic cups in England.
Yeah, they do. They do bossing them ones again because they're playing against guys they already know and styles they already know.
But like you mentioned, they had Chelsea.
Yeah, and that's why I genuinely that year, I was like, this finally City are going to do it. This is their year that they're going to win.
Yeah, I thought they were going to do it as well.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. It was just, and then when they lost it, I was like, of course they lost it because it's City and you just can't get over the line when it comes to it. You would definitely
have, I mean, look, you say you would have put your money on City to do it, but again, it's Chelsea. So Chelsea are thoroughbred winners.
Chelsea, insane team. Tuchel, fantastic manager.
Yeah.
But, like, come on, Pep.
I think you just wouldn't have backed Tuchel to do it in the space of like 6 months.
Yeah, because it was such a quick turnaround. I think Lampard, he had them in 9th, didn't he?
Yeah, but I think the whole thing was that the squad was there. The squad was absolutely there. So it was just.
I remember.
It just needed a manager to come in and change it. And I don't think Tuchel got half the amount of credit that he probably has done now because when he was at PSG, people just thought he would just, was just at PSG.
To win,
but to come in and do that.
Like he's the only PSG manager who's gotten them to a final since they've had that a big takeover.
Yep, and none of us, I think we're all in agreement, none of us think that PSG will make it to the final this year.
Nah,
I think with Champions League, the best team doesn't always win. A lot of it does rely on luck.
If he misses this, my God, seriously.
It is a lot of luck. Like, I don't think Chelsea last season were one of the best teams in Europe if you look at results in the league, but they won the Champions League. Bayern the year before definitely were, but sometimes best team doesn't always win. A lot of it is luck. There could be one game where a player makes an odd mistake, it goes against you, whereas the league is obviously more more telling because it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So it's the
No,
best
you're
team
absolutely
always
right.
wins the league because it's over such a long period of time.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of other people are saying as well it's been due to overthinking. We've seen it with Leon as well after that defeat. Atletico is 2-0. They've beaten Porto 2-0. Both down to 10 men in that game. Saeed shouted out myself and Doyle. Big up, Saeed.
Saeed, lads.
See ya hopefully on the weekend. Join us for that Saturday football show, guys. Make sure you tune in on Saturday. Kessie gets himself in some really good advanced positions for someone that can't do anything with the ball.
It's annoying.
It's really annoying.
He's never usually there though. It's just because we have literally no one there right now.
Is that why? Because obviously I'm looking at this from a perspective of someone who may be signing him, and I'm thinking, considering, I'm happy with the movement I'm seeing because he's getting himself into those good positions. But he usually plays a lot further back. Is that what you're saying?
He is box to box.
Yeah.
So he'll get forward a lot, but to see him in advanced positions like that this many times a game is not normal. But he does have his moments where he pops up in that part of the pitch.
Can he thread the ball through?
No.
He doesn't look technical at all. He looks physical.
He's not a technical player.
He looks absolutely like a physical, dominant player.
I remember a few years ago, like there were loads of memes of him on Twitter, like with wearing Timberland boots because he couldn't pass. Not everyone.
No, I'm gonna get sold if this game thinking Kessie's
not everyone is able to pass the ball like Thiago.
Yeah, or Trent.
But like Kessie does what he does really well, but he's not a player who you'll look at and think, wow, like he does certain things.
Yeah.
Like he's just very good at breaking up the play and doing what he does.
Like everyone has a different skill set. I always say this, right? Every player on that pitch has a different skill set and they're all there for a reason. His skill set, he might be really good at it and he needs to be in a different type of team. Like with Liverpool, you've got Jordan Henderson, for example. Yeah. He's a workhorse, but not only is he a workhorse, he's a leader. And there's no other leaders like him in the team, and that's why he plays such an integral role.
And Henderson's not someone who's renowned for his technical ability.
No,
he's not a great passer.
Although he is getting better this season. I've seen some of his goals.
But you are right. Against us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, lads.
3-0.
All right. So we're in the last 3 minutes of the game. It's 3-0 now. Atletico. We'll go through all the scores in about 3 minutes' time when this wraps up. Okay. So I want a prediction from everyone then. If you don't think it's going to be PSG, they are coming on.
Young lads.
Yeah, wow, they look like babies.
About 12.
Wow, they look so small and tiny. Let's see who these guys are coming on.
I love that
though. Love that. Getting 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
One of the best stadiums
And
ever.
do you know what? Yeah. It's an incredible moment.
Yeah,
it's an
nice
incredible moment for them to actually experience that. Make your debut. I know it's only for about a minute, but I love that from Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, he's boss. He does it all the time. He's like gives the kids a chance. He's done it in all of the teams that he's played for. I love
and
go on, you've got to bury this now, lads.
He's offside.
Oh! Was that a bit of, I don't know if that was last ditch defending, keeping, a bit of everything.
I think he had the ball bobbled before he hit it and he skied it.
I'll tell you what, he's so injury prone, not so changed.
He's not had a good
game. Last few weeks.
I seen Nico Williams there though, brilliant that way, a good tackle. He's on side.
Yeah, he is.
But he skied it.
I think
lads. Don't even know what he did there.
They bobbled up,
Rush of blood to the head.
Bubbled. Here they are making. They can't believe
the
how young
lads,
I literally can't cope.
They make me feel old.
Yeah. How old are you?
22.
Yeah, we're 22.
You're both 22.
Oh, you make me feel old.
Make me feel old as well.
I was having this conversation with some of my friends the other day.
How old am I?
No, I'm older than you.
Are you?
You should never ask a woman her age.
No. No, I would never ask, but I know I'm older than her.
How do you know?
Because you're the same age as Gilly.
Yeah.
And I'm older than Gilly.
Are you?
I'm 29.
Oh my God.
I'm a 29-year-old. His face when I said that was like, what?
It's 29.
Yeah, I'm 30 next
year.
year.
In conversation, I never would have thought you were 29.
Yeah, especially the way I am as well. Like, I definitely don't seem it, do I?
Not like 29. I have to read this out because it's a super chat, not for any other reason. Someone, Snake Eyes said, Abby, you're so beautiful, go Reds. Thank you very much.
Oh, yeah, I have to read that out.
Thank you very much.
I have to read that
I do have to read out super chats.
I
do have to read super chats. Yes, so thank you very much, Snake Eyes. It's very sweet of you.
What about me, mate?
He said go on the Reds.
Oh, it's right, lads.
Well, to be fair, you are both technically Reds, so...
No, they're Reds.
Yeah.
It's weird, though.
What's your team called? What, like, we're called the Redmen.
Rossoneri.
Rossoneri.
So red and black.
Yeah, so red and black Italian.
Okay.
It's weird, because I was having this chat with my boys the other day, and we were saying, like, now there's a lot of players who come through are so much younger than us, and it's like, it's weird.
It's weird seeing it, isn't it?
Yeah, like
18-year-old
Haaland
kids.
is younger than me.
He's like 20.
Yeah.
And he's literally one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. It just didn't used to happen in the old game because the older players were the ones, they were the most experienced ones and all that.
Yeah.
Kids nowadays are just ridiculous, and it's due to like the internet. And,
Right,
you know,
we've had Connor Bradley come on for Nico Williams,
For
and who
5
was the other one?
seconds.
As I missed the other one as well. Who
What
was
was
that?
it?
Have you ever heard of this guy before?
I haven't, mate. No,
He's not even
gonna
going to touch
lie.
the
He's
ball. He's going to blow the
literally
whistle,
just
isn't
gonna
it?
Oh, don't blow the
Oh,
whistle.
do you know
then.
what? That's amazing for them. They look so small.
Go on,
and
get a
tiny.
draw, please.
Try and get a draw
Get a draw.
tonight.
Where's he going?
Oh
my
my
God.
Imagine one of
Go
them
on.
subs gets
He's
like
there.
a debut goal.
He's there, in the middle, but they're just nah.
Oh, just trying to get the ball
That's
to
not
him.
foul. That's our ball, yeah.
Oh, I'm gutted. He made a nice little run there. Oh, it's all kicking off with the Ops.
Who is that referee? Because he's always about him.
Yeah,
isn't he?
he's
Yeah, I
always
see
about
him
the
every big
champions.
game. This guy seems to get.
What's his name,
I
lad?
don't know
no
who he is.
idea.
I've not got a
Slick
clue.
Rick, he should be called because he's got one of them
Slick Rick.
hairdos. and
Slick Rick. No idea. Right, okay. We went off topic again because I want to know
Sorry.
your predictions for who you think is going to win the Premier League and the Champions League.
Oh, yeah,
what
okay.
Doyle?
Liverpool going to win the Premier League.
Liverpool going to win the Premier League,
Yeah.
okay. And who is going to win the Champions
ball?
League?
Liverpool.
Come on, make it
Wow.
We'll
2-2.
do both, innit? Why not? On form right now, I can't say anything else. I really can't. What I'm interested to see with it is how Chelsea do in December. That's what it's all about, how they cope with December. City and Liverpool will do all right. I'm pretty confident about that. But Chelsea might not.
Okay, right. So you're backing Liverpool to do the double.
I am.
Wow, okay, love that. Absolutely love that. I mean, it's literally this game is about to finish any second now, and also there's been there's been a lot of last-minute goals, but I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm going to read it to you after this game finishes. What do you guys reckon? Who do you reckon, Chris,
For Premier League?
Premier League and Champions League?
I think City will win the Premier League. I just think they've got the best depth. I think that's what it always comes down to. But for Champions League, I'm going to go with Liverpool.
Liverpool for the Champions League.
Thank you very much, lads.
Okay.
Appreciate
I think
it.
they've just got the DNA.
Okay.
And they're one behind Milan and
Yeah.
joint with Bayern now, so there's that. But I think Liverpool will win something this season. They're too good not to.
yeah, I agree with you. Alex?
Beginning of the year, I would have said Chelsea, but now I'm going to go Liverpool for the league.
Okay.
And I don't think... I know Liverpool are insane, but I don't think anyone comes close to Bayern Munich. I think Bayern
Okay.
Munich are going to win it again.
Okay, interesting. Right, we'll see. And of course, this game is now finished. It means that AC Milan. I'm waiting for the tables to come up, to be honest. So I've got all the information for you. But it looks like AC Milan are down and out. Just
we didn't
having
get
a look
Europa
here.
League.
Got a lot of shouts in the chat. Cities win the Prem. African Cup of Nations could cost Liverpool.
It could. This is the big question.
I saw your games though. They're not very
It's like two.
tough.
It's like 2 games that they might miss
January
as well.
is a quiet month.
If,
That's why I
if
think
both of them
Champions
teams go
League.
out, Senegal and Egypt, it's only 2 games that they'll miss. You know?
If they don't go out, how many games is it?
It's a lot. It's like 6.
So let's.
That's what I think. Maybe Champions
Maybe
League
we'll
though,
hope they don't
because
go.
they're not going to miss any
Yeah.
of the big Champions League games. You'll
Spot
have them
on
back,
there, you know.
and that's. I just think Liverpool, just the way Klopp plays, it's like very suited to cups.
Yeah, it is.
Um,
And Liverpool, it's like what you said actually rung a real big bell in my mind. Like it's in our DNA.
Yeah.
This is part of who we are. This is part of Liverpool and like the culture around the club.
And also now you've done it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll want to do
There's
it
no,
again.
there's no fear
Yeah.
in like hoodoo around it anymore. You've
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
Lots of other shouts for PSG. Bayern will win the Champions League.
Yeah, they're dangerous.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. Right, I'm going to read you out the scores before we look at the tables. So Ajax finished 4-2 against Sporting Lisbon. Dortmund finished 5-0 with Besiktas. Porto pulled a late penalty back and it finished 3-1 against Atletico. All those red cards in that game. Real Madrid 2-0 with Inter, and Sheriff got a late goal with Shakhtar Donetsk to finish 1-all. So that's everything for tonight. So I'm just going to look and show you who's topped the group and who's gone through. So in Group A, I'm really testing my eyesight here. Group A, Manchester City have topped the group with 12 points. PSG finished second in 11 points. RB Leipzig drop into the Europa League. And on to the next one. Liverpool top the group of death with 18 points. They played 6, won 6, drawn, lost none.
Wow.
Incredible from Liverpool. You are very correct. They could very well be on,
Go on the way.
to win that and win that. Atletico Madrid come in second place, 7 points. Porto with 5 points. And unfortunately, boys, obviously AC Milan finished bottom of
It's
that
alright,
one.
first season back.
First season back. You'll win Serie A and then you'll be back next year, right?
Focus on Serie A now, innit?
Yeah.
That's what's all
You'll
about.
That's
be
gotta
back
be the
next
aim.
year. You'll be back next year.
Win the league.
Group C, Ajax top the group again, 18 points as well. Smash that group. They've won all 6. Sporting Lisbon with 9 points in second. Borussia Dortmund dropped into the Europa League. And Besiktas are out. Group D, Real Madrid topped their group. They lost once. I believe that was to Sheriff as well.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was to
Yes,
Sheriff.
yeah.
They won 5.
At the Bernabeu as
Yeah,
well.
at the Bernabeu. They won 5, lost 1. Inter Milan also go through with 10 points. Sheriff go into the Europa League and Shakhtar drop out. And Group E, Bayern topped the group with 15 points. Barcelona in second place with 7 points. There was all that hoodoo that they could have, they could fall into it. Benfica and hold on, these games have been played
Tomorrow.
These are tomorrow.
tomorrow.
No wonder it's not finished yet. I was thinking to myself, I swear I haven't.
They could still drop down.
Barcelona have to play
Barcelona have
Bayern.
to. Yes, they
So
have
if
to win.
Benfica win, Barca in the
game
Europa
over
League.
for
Yeah.
them,
So
lads,
I was
yeah.
just thinking, this hasn't been concluded yet. But anyway, I've read too far ahead. So yeah, that is going to be a really, really interesting one tomorrow.
Bayern are
night
going to
see what
smoke
happens.
Barcelona.
Could you imagine if Bayern Munich drop into that again? United, Villarreal tomorrow, Atlanta, Young Boys. United take on Young Boys tomorrow night, which I believe is live on Don Robbie. You can watch along. But yeah, there is definitely some interesting teams that have dropped into Europa League, as we spoke about. And it'll be very interesting to see what happens come when the Champions League resumes in February time. One more super chat before we head off from the Zombie Fanatic, who said going through a whole season unbeaten is better than winning the Champions League, and this is coming from an Arsenal fan. I would assume that they would say that because that's all they have to hold on to, the Invincibles. So apart from that, Doyle, it's been a pleasure.
I've enjoyed it tonight.
Good night.
Yeah, we've won every single game in the Champions League. We are deadly, even when we put our B-side out. We've had some young lads, Morton done well. What a fantastic night for Liverpool fan, eh?
Yeah.
Mwah.
Even in that top. Just that top is killing me. Alex, sorry, commiserations to both of you, Alex and Chris, about AC Milan. Have you enjoyed your evening though, nonetheless?
Yeah, it's always good fun.
Always a good fun here. I mean, look, maybe you'll be back in, a year's time and maybe you'll be topping the group.
Yeah, I'll be like you.
Get an easier group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully. I want to see us come back stronger, like, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll have to see what's going on there. Where can everyone find you guys?
Social media, Twitter, Instagram, finally Aquino.
Alessandro and then an underscore on Instagram and Twitter.
So remind everyone where they can find you.
So you'll find me footy tricks on Freestyle DM, where I catch it on my back and my head and all that stuff. And then you'll find me talking about Liverpool on the Cop TV, where I talk with me mate Gilly and James and Ruby. And we talk all things Liverpool.
Which I'm sure all you Liverpool fans will love. If not, maybe don't watch it. I'm joking. It's a great channel. I love the Cop TV. And I love you, and I love Alex as well. Make sure you guys obviously tune into tomorrow night's watch along. I believe that it's Manchester United versus Young Boys.
Yeah.
Obviously coming up this week on Thursday, we've got Premier League preview as we head into Premier League weekend again with myself, and I believe Flex is back with me on Thursday. And then Saturday, of course, we've got Saturday Football Show to keep you up to date with all the 3 o'clock games. So have a great week, and we will see you then.